Raaphorst.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right, Marte Magic. It strikes again for the second straight day. Krisztal Marte delivered late game heroics, and the D-backs beat the Texas Rangers yesterday afternoon 6-4. We'll talk about that a little bit since we did touch on it yesterday, but we will dive into that. Hopefully you had an opportunity to watch the replay last night after work, which most of us did. We're out here at Twin Peaks in Tempe, and we'll be here for 3 hours. We're here until 4 o'clock, and we are getting ready for football. That's right. No Thursday night football tonight.
Interesting,
Makes no sense.
Preseason, no Thursday night football. Everything's starting tomorrow through Sunday, even Monday.
Yep,
a little Monday night football going on. Yep. Getting everybody ready for the regular season. Cardinals with their joint practice this afternoon. Get a chance to look into that. Good buddy Brandon Krisztal, beat writer for the Broncos, was out there this morning. And
he's your good buddy?
Yeah, he's good buddy.
I'm just curious. When did he become your good buddy?
Well, he was a KU Jayhawk. I still welcome him into the K-State realm. He's been coming out a few years. Good guy, talking about how Trey McBride was having his way with the Denver Broncos defense. Hey, here's a guy, perennial All-Pro, tight end, could have another big year for this Arizona Cardinals team. So a little bit of a hint of what he saw out there at the joint practice this morning. I don't think there was any scuffles that has been reported one way or the other. That's one thing it's interesting. The Niners and the Raiders, the Niners are in Las Vegas. They're going to play the Raiders, so they had a joint practice today.
Right.
And the headline was, Niners, Raiders, avoid any kind of scuffle in joint practice.
They don't like each other.
But I mean, it's just kind of funny. It's kind of an oxymoron for the Raiders to have any kind of a scuffle with anybody when it's a joint practice, because there's been a few joint practice scuffles. You know, the fellas getting a little fired up.
Oh, sure.
A little competition. Guy pushed me the wrong way. The guy held me. All that kind of stuff going on.
All right, stay 45. All right, 45. Actually, 48. Roofing. It's your call question. What is most important in the Cards preseason game number 2 against the Broncos? Is it 1, another win, build momentum; 2, no injuries; 3, more playing time for the starters; or 4, big plays of Murray to Harrison Jr.? Those are your 4 choices. You can vote on our Twitter and Instagram page. Just search Roc and Manuch.
Are you leading there, Jimmy?
Are
you letting it marinate a little bit over there?
I already voted, man. I got in right away. I was up early today, 8, and so wow. Yeah, I know it's early for me.
Back at dawn, huh?
Manuch is 8:30.
Yeah.
About 8:15. It depends.
I can't imagine people getting up that late.
Well,
I mean late. It's morning.
It's not. Morning's like
morning.
6, 5:36.
No.
The weather's nice out. You can go outside.
Well, I go outside at 8.
It's too hot.
I typically wake up about 5:36, kind of lay there, kind of roll around, get on the computer. But it's usually about 8 by the time I get to rustling around one way or the other. But I think, when I look at this, I would just like to see more playing time for the starters.
That's what I put.
I really would. I mean, injuries, you can't put guys in a bubble. I hear this, protect themselves, don't get injured. Well, hell, they get injured at practice.
Yeah.
Guys pull hamstring issues.
They can step off a curb on their way to practice.
Shedeur Sanders, he's throwing, he gets an oblique injury.
Exactly.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
An oblique injury, it's going to hold him out of this game. But, prime time for him to kind of prove that he belongs to be on the game once again. But it's funny how Flacco and Pickett and Gabriel, they were all practicing this week. They all of a sudden got kind of healthy when they saw Shedeur do his thing in last Saturday's game. But I'm like, you got to have the guys play. I mean, if you're going to hold everybody back next week against the Raiders, play them a quarter and a half, whatever. Just make sure they feel comfortable, knock the rust off, get some timing, get some hitting, get some chemistry. So I want more playing time for the starters.
That's where I did.
No injuries, baby. No injuries. That's the key. You got to get through this. You got to get through preseason. We're only 3 games. There's so many injuries these days.
But look, they got 2 weeks prior to the opening kickoff. They get healed up. They're banged up.
2 weeks.
Dinged
Pull a
up.
groin. That's not going to be fixed in 2 weeks.
Well, you can do that at practice. I mean, this joint practice, every time you go out and practice, You just hope you don't get unscathed or hurt. Pull a hammy, get hurt, whatever it is. I mean, Shedeur Sanders, he's throwing drill. He strains an oblique. Nobody touched him.
The ball. He's just passing.
Nobody touched him.
Yeah.
So I just think you can't underestimate reps, especially the way this team has started the last 2 years. And I think that's got to be paramount. And you just can't worry about the injuries. If you're worried about the injuries, then obviously your depth. You don't have trust in your depth to be able to pick up where these other guys are. And we've seen that happen before. So if you got guys getting reps and guys that feel pretty good about themselves, then I think you've got to get the reps in to make sure you feel good about yourself. Otherwise, if you rest everybody this Saturday and you go, okay, they're done until the opening game, that's 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. That's staying there a month of no live performances. Scrimmages don't count. I'm talking about actual game time experience to get yourself ready, feel good about where you're at, get some hits. Get that, we call it getting that football shape to make sure you're able to withstand an entire game.
Justin Herbert's going to play in this second game.
Yeah, a lot of starters are
going to get some time on the field.
Yeah, I think a lot of them, I think the majority, you look around the league, are pretty much just as that. This is like the third game of yesteryear.
Exactly.
When you had the 4 preseason games. So this second game will be the game to try to get as much as they can with the starters, not game plan. And then next week, they'll kind of play it by ear.
Phoenix Suns in the NBA came out with their regular season schedule today. And October 24th, it's the early reunion with Bradley Beal and Chris Paul as they visit the Suns against the Clippers, or actually visit the Clippers in L.A. November 24th will be Kevin Durant Day as he returns to Phoenix with the Rockets. That'll be exclusively on Peacock. 5 national games on NBC, 3 on Peacock, and 1 on ESPN. No Christmas game, first time in 5 years. The Suns won't be playing on December 25th. Local coverage, you got the games will air on Arizona Family, and they'll stream on Suns Live, and, of course, on the mothership, Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. So single-game tickets will be available starting tomorrow at noon. So if there is a game you want to go to, you're going to want to get on it early.
What do you think the reaction is going to be when Bradley Beal shows up and then when Durant shows up? Do you think the reaction will be different for each player?
Well, define different. Who, what, where?
Will Bradley Beal get booed out of the arena, and will they stand and applaud Durant?
So why the rub on Beal when he was a professional?
He was because he got lumped into the so-called toxic locker room, and his name was equated into that, and because of that, fans reacted the way that they did.
I don't know. I think fans have to realize what's been done on the court unless you've got proof.
They don't react that.
But is there any proof that he was part of the toxic environment? Has his name, that they were specific, that he was proof? All I read is that if there's any kind of malcontents, is that who was the center that they traded that didn't play him for the Suns last year?
Nurkic.
Nurkic. Yeah, they said he was getting a little uppity because he wasn't playing.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. I hear that, and you just kind of go, okay, if there's any proof, somebody comes out, not that anybody would say anything. I just look at what was on the court, what happened. Now, if he was a knucklehead on the court or jackass.
Never was.
He never was.
Yeah.
And KD, commend him. I think he'll get a standing O as being leading player last couple of years.
I'm not so sure about that, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Loud applause.
No,
I think many fans regret they acquired him in the first place for mortgaging the future of the Suns.
Whose fault is that?
It's ownership.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
you can't boo the owner.
You can't boo the owner. You got to boo him.
I mean, when somebody's a part of a circumstance, and you go, okay, we're going to boo them because it was management.
We're not saying it's their fault. We're saying dopes are fans. Fans are dopey. They're dopey about their team. Love them 1 minute, hate them the next minute. But if you say anything negative, then they're all over you. They have the right to be negative if they want to be.
It'll be mixed.
It'll be mixed.
But I think heavy on, hey, I wasn't a fan of him here. Well, if I was a kid that goes to games and boos and claps and all that, I'd be that guy. Durant, I'd be booing him.
I liked the KD move. And the Bradley Beal move.
What did you like about it? What did it get
He's
you?
a scorer.
Okay, what did it get you?
He's an all-star.
What did it get you?
Well, he got close to 30 points a game.
Who cares? He didn't win a championship.
Yeah. Did he even get you? Did he even get you into the second round?
Yeah.
Well, I got to the playoffs the first year.
Well,
the first year,
the second round.
first year he got hurt. Second year they got in the playoffs, and then last year was just an abomination. So, I don't know,
what have you done for me lately?
Well,
just because he put up 30 points a game,
Yeah.
that means it's a positive impact on him here?
He was the leading scorer for the Suns last year.
So what?
What?
What does that mean?
He was the only hope for the Suns. He was
Only
here.
hope. Beal was on the team.
Booker.
There was a lot of hope.
Here's the thing. What didn't work out was Matt Ishbia's wish to have all three of them playing. It didn't work out.
Okay, you're moonwalking.
No, I'm not.
Remember I told you how fans are dopey? He is our resident
Yo,
fan.
I appreciate what KD did for this team.
What did he do? What did he do? Tell me what he did for this team. He didn't do anything for this team.
He played more than Bill did. He
was here longer, plus he's a better player than you. The expectations with Durant was he's going to bring his team a championship.
Kevin Durant is the best player on the Suns team.
Okay, but what did it get you?
Well, it takes 4 other guys.
Oh, okay.
If it's not for KD, they probably lose another 10, 12 games.
So what?
Easy.
They were under 500 anyway.
I get it, but you're asking about the player, what he did. He brought, at least he kept in games.
You're looking at it from the wrong aspect here.
Hey, I'm one guy. I wish they could have gone to the playoffs again. I get it. But for some reason, the mix didn't work.
Yeah.
Now, is that his fault?
We understand that, but you're on your high horse with Durant because he did all the scoring.
He did his job. He did his job.
No, doing his job would be to lead this team to a long run in the playoffs.
So one versus 5 he's gonna be able to do it. Look how much he faltered in reference to, you looked at Beal in reference to some of those things. So those are some of the things you look at. I look at KD did all he could do to have this team win. Bill, when he's available, came in as a backup, did all he could do. And I think that Booker, he did what he could do. It just didn't work out.
Well, we know that. We didn't say anything derogatory about the two guys personally. We never attacked them.
So why do you boo him?
Why
do you boo KD?
Because he didn't do what Roc just said. He did not help this team advance into the playoffs.
Okay.
He's going to get booed.
Hey,
like it or not, as a former professional athlete, you don't like being booed. I get it, but it is part of the job. And there are people that just know that they mortgaged their future for this guy that was supposed to bring a championship, and it didn't happen. Okay. They surrounded him with players that should have won up championships.
So you're
at least been close.
So one guy is responsible for them not making the playoffs. Is that what you're saying?
Well, they traded
They traded the whole. They traded.
I get it.
Yes,
but
yes,
he did his job. It's like a quarterback. You trade for a quarterback.
Quarterback can make or break it.
Okay.
If you traded Patrick Mahomes today, Chiefs are not going to be as good as they are without him.
If you bring a quarterback in and we're gonna go to the playoffs, he averages 4 touchdown passes a game, but your defense can't stop anybody. He gets traded away and he comes back.
You're talking about Joe Burrow as we speak.
Whoever it is, you can't. One guy can't make the playoffs for your team. He did his job, what he had to do, and they to contribute, build and hold his end of the bargain. But hey, here's the thing: he played well when he played. And there's Book. The mix just wasn't right. It's more about about the mix and not the guy himself. That was still an all-star. We
didn't attack him personally. The question was, what did he do for the 3 years that he was here?
The question was, do you boo him or Bill? And you asked the difference.
Yes,
what would you do?
That was I would probably do both for both guys.
I'm definitely Durant. Beal, I didn't even know him well enough. He didn't play enough for me to boo him.
Yeah.
No.
And the fact that I actually give him a standing O because he got out of here. No, he lifted his trade clause.
No, he did.
Well, Bill did. Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
All right. Krisztal Marte's 9th inning magic. We're going to get into that next. It's a replay rewind from Twin Peaks Tempe.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rose is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rose is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Lerner and Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Attention golf lovers and putting enthusiasts. Are you ready to elevate your game? At Putting World, we've got cutting-edge technology that'll have you sinking putts like a pro. With high-tech simulators and expert coaches, you'll be on your way to mastering that tricky six-footer in no time. Check us out at puttingworld.com. Whether you're a seasoned golfer or a newbie who thinks a hole-in-one is just a fancy donut, there's a place for you at Putting World. Eat it, drink it, sink it. Putting World.
Remember when things were built to last? Well, at Arizona Patio Furniture, we've been handcrafting premium outdoor furniture and custom cushions for over 15 years, right here in Phoenix, using 100% American-made materials. We build it, we sell it, we guarantee it with our exclusive 5-year plus worry-free warranty. Visit any one of our Three Valley showrooms or go to ArizonaPatioFurniture.com. Mention this ad for free delivery and setup in Maricopa County. Arizona Patio Furniture. Some things are still made like they used to be.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
When I grow up, I want to be a teacher.
Because when I'm a teacher, I can help kids to learn and chase their dreams.
PI, a defect of the immune system, affects millions of children. Early and accurate diagnosis and treatment give children like Sam a chance to achieve their dreams.
It takes a lot of caring teachers to make school fun. It took a lot of caring people to keep my dream alive. And now, because of them, I could be head of the class.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
Mom, where are my keys?
Why do I have to take out the garbage?
I'm too sick to go to school.
Quit hogging the bathroom!
If you're having a hard time living with all the noise, it's even harder to live without it. One fake fentanyl pill could cost your child their life. Learn how to talk to your kids at TalkNowAZ.com. This message is sponsored by Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Now it's time for our Replay Rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Rock decides to add. Let's get to it in Replay Rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD-2.
All right, in case you missed it yesterday, we're going to start in Arlington. D-backs were down to their final out. Krisztal Marte delivers again, his second straight day with late inning heroics. And here's his 3-run blast in the ninth to flip it on Texas.
Here's the 1-1. Swung on and belted. High and deep to right. It's on its way, and that thing is gone. Deja vu all over again. Krisztal's ninth inning shot gives the Diamondbacks a 6-4 lead. And in dramatic fashion, they have come all the way back and have a chance just 3 outs away from a series win in Texas.
So they end up getting that series win. They'll now play Colorado tonight.
You know, and prior to that, McCann comes up, hits his dinger.
Yep.
All of a sudden you go, oh, okay, who knows? Jimmy and I talked about, you know what? Could they? The thing about Marte is the power he has from the right side of the plate and the power he has from the left side of the plate. And to win each game from both sides just goes to show you and appreciate how talented and how powerful this young man is. And then some of the plays he made at second base. So when you think of, second baseman with power that have stood out over the years, think of Ryan Sandberg, who just passed away a couple weeks ago, his prowess at second base. Joe Morgan, the power he had.
Jeff Kent
at second base. But, from both sides of the plate, one went 445 2 days ago, yesterday about 430. It's amazing to watch this guy. When he's in the groove, he's definitely in the groove. 4 for 5 yesterday.
It's funny you bring up Jeff Kent. I just think about the motorcycle incident he had in spring training. Yeah,
dumbass. Scottsdale, wasn't it?
Yeah, dumbass. With the win yesterday, the D-backs tied a Major League Baseball save record. So when Andrew at South Frank, it's a save, right? Yep. He came in. He was the 14th different D-backs pitcher to record a save. It's amazing. Not something to be proud of. It means that this team doesn't have a closer. So they've been doing it by committee.
And Murillo did it the night before. The young guy got his very first one. Yeah, they you know what? Bubblegum, tape, whatever you need to put this team together is interesting how and they can set up a 4-game set over the Rockies. Say it ain't so. Can you get 4 in a row and get 2.5, 3 games back as the Dodgers scuffle? The Dodgers in the wild card race?
How about the Angels sweeping the Dodgers? That's incredible. And they did it with the 9th inning heroics, just like what we saw.
Let's get to that sound because they're in L.A. Yep. For the first time in a major league game, Shohei Ohtani faced his old Angels teammate Mike Trout, and Shohei got the best of him.
Just like the WBC, a 3-2 sweeper. This time he watches strike 3. Shohei Ohtani with bookending strikeouts in a 1-2-3 first. And a wide smile from Trout.
That's all you can do. All you can do is tip your hat and go back to the dugout. That's it.
I think out of the four strikeouts, 3 of them were against Trout. Yeah. Trout really struggled against him. He was baffled with their time bringing about 100, 102 miles an hour.
All right, we'll go to Baltimore now. Rookie phenom Jackson Holliday called the game. Here's his walk-off double in the 9th to lift the O's past the Rays.
The Orioles are 270 feet away from their first walk-off win of the year. Holliday looking for the first of his career. It's 2-1. Right side. That's a fair ball. This is into the corner. Carlson to third. Carlson's coming home. Jackson Holliday and the Orioles finally have their walk-off.
Jackson Holliday. All right, now to Atlanta. We all love grand slams. Here's Michael Harris. He stepped up in a big spot in the 4th and cleared them all.
Michael Harris, straightaway center field. Keep going. Is it a grand slam? You bet it's not. It's off the wall. I thought it hit beyond the fence. It did. Nick Marley, the second base umpire, he saw it like we did. It hit off the black portion above the wall. It is a grand slam.
And finally, we go to Milwaukee. Christian Zelich, he patted the Brewers' lead with this RBI knock in the 7th.
Line drive, base hit. Ortiz is in. Frelick's in. Contreras to third. The Brewers have hung a dozen on Pittsburgh.
Yeah, there's your knockout punch right there for Christian Yelich.
And speaking of a dozen, they now have a dozen straight wins through last night. That means fans get free burgers at George Webb. They have this long-standing promotion tied to win streaks, and with this run, they'll be giving them away again. They announced it today that if you're going back to Milwaukee on August 20th between 2 and 6, you can visit any of the 23 locations there in Wisconsin at George Webb and get yourself a free burger. This is just the 3rd time in the history of the Brewers that a streak has triggered a promotion like this. They did it in 87, they did it in 2018, but Brewers, 12 straight. I love it when a small market is having success.
Well,
I'm
with you. And they've won 15 out of the last 16. Yeah. They've scored 126 runs and only allowed 55. So you look at this team, they're in the 16-game run. They're outscoring their opponents 8-3 on average. I mean, I'm trying to think the last few years, who's a team that's won 15 out of 16, 16 out of 7 with this much power, this much run scoring?
The Yankees did that. They went on a run last year. I don't think they won 12 in a row, but they did 8 to 10 in a row, and they were just banging the ball out of the park.
The other one was when the Tigers, the start they got in 84.
Yes.
They won 22 out of the first 24, 25.
Unbelievable.
That was the Kurt Gibson era when they were just crushing it, but this team won't lose. Pat Murphy, our good buddy Pat Murphy, Rock.
Not my good buddy.
Story with interviewing him. We'll get to that some other day.
Today's replay Replay Rewind is brought to you by Lerner Rowe. In a wreck, need a check, make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. So there you have it. Our Replay Rewind. Not a lot of local, with the exception of Marte. But we kind of want to put in some MLB in there, which is always good when you got Grand Slams and battles between Ohtani and Trout. Those are all good. So I do want to thank Arizona Sports, Sportsnet LA, Maston, and then FanDuel South, along with FanDuel Wisconsin, for our clips today. But we are out here at Twin Peaks in Tempe. We are excited to announce that we are once again going to be doing our fan pick'em, and we are doing that with Twin Peaks. So you'll be able to go to fanpick'em.com and get your picks in, weekly man cards and an ultimate prize at the end. And we are doing a gridiron getaway this year. Our football promotion is you'll have an opportunity to either come down to any of the 5 locations and scan the QR code, or you'll be able to text Peaks to 59925 for your chance to win a trip to Los Angeles and SoFi to see the Cards in Rams January 4th. We're going to hook you up with cash for travel. We'll hook you up with the Westin, which is right near the stadium, and you'll have great seats to see the Cards in Rams. So that'll all get going here in the next couple weeks.
I like it. Can I go? Can I go on that trip?
You can carry my bag.
Okay, I figured that would probably be the
Jimmy
case.
going to be the official host for that thing. Roc and Jimmy B. Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B. That would be a nice little trip over the LA area.
We should go there and just do the shows from there.
That's an idea, one way or the other.
Yeah, you guys go ahead and let me know how it goes. Last place I want to be in is in LA. All right, up next, we'll tell you what we're doing after this update. Jeff Van Raaphorst was scheduled. If you follow us on Twitter, we're going to move him to 3:15. So Jeff Van Raaphorst, the color analyst of your Sun Devils, will join us in 2 hours instead of next. But we'll come back, get into some college football talk as we continue from Twin Peaks, Tempe. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
It's time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Twin Peaks, ESPN 620 update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Diamondbacks took 2 of 3 from the Rangers, all thanks to Krisztal Marte, who delivered go-ahead 9th-inning homers on back-to-back days. Now, Krisztal and the D-backs will look to stay hot as they head to Colorado for the start of a 4-game series. Eduardo Rodriguez gets the nod for Arizona, while Bradley Blaylock takes the mound for the Rockies. The Cardinals will head to Denver to take on the Broncos in their second preseason game as Kyler Murray and company look to keep building rhythm before the regular season kicks off. Sign up now for our 2025 Pro Football Fan Pick'em, powered by Twin Peaks and their 5 Valley Lodges. Make your weekly picks, beat Roc, Manuch, and Jimmy B, and you can score prizes all season long. Bragging rights are on the line, so get in the game. Twin Peaks, the ultimate home for football.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers bring more air for less money. Rust-free, USA built, backed by over 40 years of cooling expertise. Available now at Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, Tractor Supply, and Northern Tool. For more information, go to staycool-products.com. Stay Cool Products. Form, function, value. Get yours today and beat the heat.
Hey, Manuch here. As a former NFL quarterback, I've taken a few hits, but nothing worse than bad underwear. Sweaty, itchy, riding up. Now that's a daily sack nobody needs. The crew at Cho Boys sent me their boxers and boxer briefs, and I'm telling you, these are the real MVP. The bamboo pairs, game changers. Cool, soft, breathable, like calling the perfect audible for your lower half. Even out in this Arizona heat, Chill Boys keeps me comfortable and focused. I've swapped out the old gear. Now I'm Team Cho Boys, and the whole squad at ESPN 620 is too. Try one pair, you'll feel the difference. Hit up chillboys.com, use code ESPN, and get 20% off your first order. That's chillboys.com for underwear that protects the pocket and keeps you cool in crunch time.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per-person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with the perfect plan to ensure everyone's well-fed and happy. Grad party? Office celebration? Family reunion? Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencia's.com.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
It's Thursday, and welcome to Lodge Mentality. The guys are live at Twin Peaks Tempe, located in the Tempe Marketplace. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Is this some kind of holiday today that I don't know about?
No,
I don't know.
I mean, it's like National Go Out and Drink Day.
This
place is packed.
It is packed.
For a Thursday at 1:30.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely packed. We didn't even get our same table.
I know. We just kind of, they get so crowded nowadays, it kind of moves to the middle of the Twin Peaks out here in Tempe. So.
Can't wait for the weather to get better so we can be outside.
Oh, yeah.
I like it that.
All right, Saturday's preseason game in Denver might not give us much of a look at the big names, as both coaches have said that most of the starters for both the Broncos and the Cardinals won't be playing. That's why these joint practices are so important. It's where the real work gets done, right, Manuch?
No.
So we'll hear from Jonathan Gannon as well as Coach Payton, on why he values joint practices, what he wants to see from Kyler Murray in these sessions during these joint practices, and much, much more. But we'll start with the enemy first. And here's Sean Payton talking about the starters that won't play much this Saturday.
Neither Jonathan or myself are going to play the ones. Now, there'll be a few. Like, there's five, 6 players that are on an 8-play pitch count that we consider ones, but maybe lack of reps or for whatever reason. So we're going to feature really 2 phases, the twos. And when I say the twos, don't read into, basically there's going to be a group in the first half and a group in the second half, but your front line, O-line, D-line, QB, corner, receiver, I'm going to sit those guys only because of the uniqueness of 2 of these in a week's time frame.
Why is he speaking on behalf of Jonathan Gannon? They just decided, hey, we're not going to play starters, both of them?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Comment. I've never heard that before. Oh, Jonathan Gannon and I are both not going to play our ones.
It's like we have this agreement. We got to look at these guys. So if you don't play your ones or your twos, I'll do this, I'll do that. It's
I don't get that.
It's like when you're Sean Payton, it's kind of like when he says pitch count, I'm like, okay, who are those guys? Then he caught himself about, well, don't read into it that it's a second team. We just have some real good competition. Yeah, his comments there were kind of all over. It's just, look, there's a few guys who want to start. There's a few guys we don't want to start. Gannon, if they had that conversation, kind of feels the same way. But Jonathan Gannon's probably going, well, don't put words in my mouth. I didn't really say that. So until Gannon comes out and says specifically who's going to play, who's not going to play, I think what Sean Payton is saying is, hey, these practices, if I feel I can get enough out of these guys, I see enough, then I probably – Kiefer probably won't play him in the preseason games.
He went 8 games last year. You play your starters more.
I would think. Well, they went to the playoffs last year, too. You know, and they're going.
No, I'm talking about Gannon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man. All right, let's hear from Gannon. Here he is talking about the importance of joint practices.
Yeah, I haven't really thought too much about that. Throughout my, coaching experience, I always thought these were really valuable, especially if you can get done what you need to get done. Sometimes you do two, sometimes you do one. I think off the top of my head, this is first time doing one, but I'm excited about it. It's a loaded up script, get all the situations, get some, call it periods, which I think is good for everybody, the coordinators and the players. We're going to get good special teams work, loaded up 2 hours and mile high on altitude and the heat. It'll be good for us.
I think with the joint practice, you can get some real specific work, but they're not going to scrimmage per se. They're not going to be live. But I think from individuals, like I looked at it as we'll go one-on-one competition, receivers, quarterbacks, 7-on-7, get a lot of reps there. Team, you might go starters, go 10 reps, backups, 10 reps. But I think you can break the lineman off here, go one-on-one versus the defensive lineman, linebackers going against tight ends, running backs, just kind of guys getting in position, kind of getting some more movement. The other thing that amps up is you want to perform well against another team. Mm-hmm. You're tired of looking at your team for 3 weeks. Now it's like, all right, this is kind of a quasi-game situation, so they kind of amp up the intensity a little bit without hitting anybody.
All right, this is super quick, so listen carefully on what Coach Gannon wants from Kyler.
Could be the last time before the regular season Kyler faces a defense other than your own. What do you want to see from him?
Execution. Go out, let it rip.
There you go.
That's it.
But we won't see that. But
if he's
joint practices, he is.
Yeah, the execution versus don't hit the quarterbacks. Guys are rushing at 3/4 speed. I think that's just kind of the easy way out of just saying, look, we want to see him execute. Well, we know that, but what does that mean, Jonathan? What does that mean, Coach? Is there some things you're not seeing? He's 7 for 8, had the 1 pick, led the team down there twice inside the red zone. You got 3 points out of 1. And I think that if that's his mantra for the entire year, then I think that's the word that's loud and clear for Kyler Murray. Hey, we want to see you execute on a consistent basis. That's what I get out of that.
All right, here's Marvin versus Surtain and what Gannon would like to see with this matchup and in the joint practice.
Yeah, he's the best probably in the business right now, or one of the top couple. I got a high opinion of that guy. It's going to be good. It's going to be good back and forth. I know he's excited. All our receivers are excited. Tight ends are excited. He's a premium player that has done a really good job, and it's going to be a good challenge for our guys.
That's the fun thing about these one-on-ones or going against somebody else. If you're throwing against the defense, whether it's team or 7-on-7, you kind of amp up a little bit. Going, these guys, you got to be on your mind, your P's and Q's. This is a hell of a defense you're throwing against, even if it's in a joint practice. You got to really be online. And then when you go against Patrick Surtain Jr., you go, if you're Marvin Harrison Jr., like, you know what? Let me see where I'm at. And then Surtain's going to go, let me see where you're at. Let me give you a little dose of big boy coverage. And I think that's good for Marv Jr.
Our last cut, and this is what Gannon wants to see from his defensive line.
Yeah, play with good technique. Make sure that we control the line of scrimmage, They got a really good offensive line. They play collectively good with each other, I feel. They're mean and nasty. They play with the right demeanor. Coach Payton's offensive lines have always done that. That's a staple, I think, as long as he's been doing it. But it'll be good, just like Pat Surtain and Marv. There's going to be a ton of good battles back and forth, and O-line and D-line will be one of them.
It's hard to do when it's not actually live. As I said yesterday, a lot of thudding going on out there. I don't know how you control the line of scrimmage when you can't hit.
I tried to put in pads popping, and Manuch corrected me.
But I know what he's saying. He just wants to make sure guys' assignments, they're getting the assignment, slant to the inside shoulder, linebackers get here, linebackers get there. And I think that's all he's saying is that assignment-wise, when you face a offensive line like the Denver Broncos, they're a very worthy opponent, and they're going to be a very worthy opponent in the AFC West this year, just to make sure that you're focused and you're getting to where you need to get to, and when the ball snaps.
His Denver Bronco team is someone who I have that could be there in February. They could have went 15-2 last year. They had 10 wins. They were 1-6 in one-score games. 1-6. You turn those around, things could have changed big time for this Denver Bronco team. I think everybody's on this Bo Nix wagon, rightfully so. He's been. I think Coach Payton has been just an amazing coach for him. I think it's worked out real well.
I'm just going to add. Yeah, I'm just going to add to that. How can people not understand how good Bo Nix was coming out of Oregon? Manuch was just shaking his head. How can you not like this guy?
He's one of the top quarterbacks. Yes. I had him as the top 3. He's played over 60-some games. He's got an outstanding arm. He's mobile. He throws well on the run. He's played big boy ball at Oregon and at Auburn. I didn't get it, but I thought that pick for Bo Nix to go to a coach like Sean Payton for the Denver Broncos was perfect for him. Because, you think of what Payton did with Drew Brees, and you think of what Payton did even when he was in Dallas. Those are some of the things you go. So Bo Nix really, what a blessing that was. But that kid really played, I thought he played beyond his years. He struggled a little bit. Then he kind of got his land legs underneath him. And I think Payton played to his abilities, but a lot of it, Rock, was that defense. That was a damn good defense last year.
And, for Bo, he played 5 full seasons in college football. So he had that experience. 43 wins. Yeah. Now, his numbers weren't good at all at Auburn.
No, they weren't.
No. 3 years there weren't good. But then once he got to Oregon, at Auburn, I said the first 3 years there. But then once he got to Oregon, then he's throwing, 3,500 to 4,500 yards, respectively, in 23.
And he had a new offensive coordinator there at Oregon. Matter of fact, he didn't come out his 4th year. He stayed his 5th year because of the offensive coordinator.
That's correct.
So he felt that it was something where he could really grow and develop. And to your point, Rock, get those kind of numbers that he was looking for to help him in the draft. Yeah, Auburn, he struggled because they didn't have the talent that Oregon had. So that helped him a lot to make that transfer.
And to take a team to the playoffs first year. What else could you say? He played 17 games, started 17 games. That's just huge.
Yeah, Buffalo kind of laid the wood on them. They got up to Buffalo. You know what? I think of first-year guys. One guy I think of that took a team to the AFC Championship game his rookie year was Roethlisberger. He came in for Tommy Maddox, who got hurt. He had an outstanding running game. He had a hell of a line. He had outstanding defense that could help him along to help take that team to the AFC Championship game against the Patriots, who confused him, who had a myth, who pretty much decided that, hey, look, you have to learn a little bit more when it came to that defense. So there's another guy that came out of, Miami of Ohio with high expectations, and he somewhat fit those expectations his rookie year.
So there you have it. We will get into some college football next, as well as NFL. On this day report, as well as the NFL discrimination case that's headed to trial. We'll tap into that. We got a $200 million standoff with Parsons and a rookie QB injury already raising red flags. That's all coming up next. It's loaded. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Twin Peaks, Tempe.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer-paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
Summer is just around the corner. Is your roof ready for the monsoon season? Well, now's the perfect time to call State 48 Roofing for a free roof inspection. Don't wait until you're dealing with a leaky roof in the scorching heat. Protect your home today. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509. Keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing, the #1 referred roofer in Arizona, proudly serving the Arizona residential and commercial markets for over a decade.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Leverage your skills and continue pursuing your passions in retirement. By joining AmeriCorps, you can become one of our most valuable partners in Arizona. You'll have the chance to use your experience to support the next generation and contribute to causes that matter most to you. Make giving back your second act. Explore volunteer opportunities and benefits at serve.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family.
Driving high can get you a DUI. Instead of getting behind the wheel, designate a sober driver or rideshare. In Arizona, drug-impaired driving is illegal, even if the drug is legal. So drive sober or not at all. In Arizona, there's zero tolerance for impaired driving, since drugs slow your reaction time and cloud your judgment. If you feel different, you drive different. Visit drivesober.az.gov to learn more. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
It's Thursday, and welcome to Lodge Mentality. The guys are live at Twin Peaks Tempe, located in the Tempe Marketplace. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Permanent green light. The 3-0. Hammered in the air, deep to left field. History, number 300 for Aaron Judge. The fastest man ever in Major League Baseball to reach the 300 home run plateau.
All right, that milestone last year on this day, August 14th, Aaron Judge of the Yankees with his 300 career home run. 87, Mark McGwire smashed an American League rookie home run record, hitting his 39th homer of the season. Go back to 1982. Pete Rose surpassed Hank Aaron with his 12,365th career at bat, becoming the all-time leader. And then exactly 4 years later, he recorded his 4,256th and final base hit, which capped his amazing career. And I believe this next one, I'm going to guess that Jimmy B was at this game.
I'm sure he was, Roger.
1977.
Uh-huh.
You were calling games then.
Yes.
The New York Cosmos, led by
Pele.
77,671 fans, the largest ever U.S. soccer crowd at the time. And they beat the Fort Lauderdale Strikers 8-3.
I would love to say that I was there, but I wasn't. I did watch the game on TV, and I was doing, at the time it was called, the North American Soccer League.
Okay.
I did do a Pele game, but not that one. And for me, it's a memory I'll never forget, because you only get a shot at greatness once.
Yeah.
And so when you have a chance to witness, I guess now it is sports history and how good he really was and what he brought to the North American Soccer League at that time. I mean, it was like Elvis. I mean, he couldn't go anywhere. He's like Taylor Swift today. He could not go anywhere.
Was he in his 40s at that time?
Yeah.
Early 40s?
Yeah.
But he was like, I mean, talk about.
He was still in really good shape.
I thought about, hey, we got to watch this soccer thing. Because Pele, who was great, let's tune this thing in and watch it. And the guy looked like it was his late 20s, early 30s way
he was in great
What
shape.
A phenomenal draw.
All right, on this day report brought to you by Wright Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota in North Scottsdale will be there tomorrow. All right, since we turn our attention to football at 50, CBS is adding a streaming pregame show this season. CBS Sports will launch NFL Today Plus, and it'll be a 2-hour digital-only pregame that'll start 7 a.m. our time on Sundays, 10 o'clock Eastern. So they'll do live updates, they'll do game reports, and even have those influencers.
Between the NFL and college football, you need like a chart listed just to see what's streaming, what's TV, all the above you want to go. It's how do you keep, like this, we talk about the Sun schedule. They're all over the place. TV, streaming, Peacock, Amazon Prime, Jim Bob's Bar and Grill. I mean, whatever it is.
When did that open?
Well, yeah.
They probably don't have the ticket.
You know what I mean? It's
I gotta tell you, this
all
whole
over the
ticket
place.
thing, it's making it hard, as a business owner,
Yeah.
bar owner like myself, to have all these streaming services.
Yeah.
It's getting to the point where, we elected to go with YouTube TV at first. And we have the ticket for NFL because YouTube got involved with the ticket, right?
Yep.
So we have that at our bar. But now, because we have YouTube TV, we don't have Channel 3. So we don't have Arizona Family, so we can't get Suns games.
Okay.
So now we got to buy an app or try to get the AZ Family app if that allows you to have Suns, and then go down that road. Same thing with Diamondbacks right now. You had to buy the MLB app to get that to fly because you don't have Cox or DirecTV to get Channel 34 or 686 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And these streaming services, I know they're here to stay, but they are not easy. It's not easy for bar owners, especially like a place like Twin Peaks. I mean, they got everything on, and they're pulling soccer apps and and UFC and all that kind of stuff. But it's gonna be tough with more streaming services, especially with college football.
But you understood that, though, going into opening up the bar, correct? You understood.
But I didn't open a sports bar though.
Well, no.
We're not a sports bar.
No, but you do have games on televisions there.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
We want to have them on.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
my two business partners are huge damn Bronco fans.
Okay.
So I'm stuck, So as an Eagle fan, like if you
Yeah.
come in, when you guys go see it, you'll
Yeah.
see like
Yeah.
I have things hidden around the bar that says home of the Eagles, because you walk in, it's a Bronco bar. Not because of the Bronco memorabilia and all that, just the colors. Our logo's orange and blue, and it's all Broncos.
Except for Eagles.
And I don't mind Broncos. It's one team. I love their fan base. I mean, it's one of the best stadiums I've ever been to see a game. They do a really cool third quarter third down chant. I mean, they do a nice job there.
Your master's paper, 92? You predicted the
NFL would go pay-per-view.
Yeah. So how much longer do we go before everything is streamed and is off normal TV or whatever? Get off normal TV.
I don't know. I mean, you CBS and you need
program.
Channel 5, you need Channel 10, you need Channel 12 and 15. You need those four just for the programming purposes. But it could go all streaming. I mean, it could.
God, I hope not.
I mean, right now I believe like 22% is the cable penetration. Cable used to be like 40, 50%.
Yeah.
Now it's down to 22. Then you have all these streaming services. It's like if you're an advertiser, where do you advertise?
Yeah.
I mean, do you go on YouTube? Do you do the streaming service? Do you do on Hulu? Do you do Cox? Do you do DirecTV? Do you go over the air? I mean, it's just so many different places to go. And how do you reach as many eyeballs?
I mean, you're wearing me out just talking about it. It's like it makes you dizzy, but you want to. I guess a lot of fans will probably hone in there. I mean, there's football fans with the ticket in the red zone. But if you want to go find your team, your game,
you gotta have YouTube NFL ticket.
Yeah.
You just have to. You're gonna watch the Eagles every week. You got to do that.
Yep.
Or go to a bar that has a ticket, and most of them do. The problem is it's just so expensive, and they nail you on occupancy. We're a small place, so I can only imagine what a place like Twin Peaks costs.
Sure.
All five of them, to have a couple hundred people in there, they're getting you on that.
So let me ask you this, Rob. Whose decision would it be to pull games off of CBS, NBC, Fox, and have those games streamed? Would it be the NFL? Okay.
Yeah.
I just hope it never happens.
I mean, I think it'd be the NFL, and it would be
ESPN.
ABC, ESPN, and whomever. Fox is carrying those games. It's if they're going to go down that road someday, I'd be anxious to see if they would take the first Thursday night game between the Eagles and the Cowboys and stream that, and how many people would be pissed off. Because
a whole lot. Trust me.
But you'll be pissed for a minute, and you will find a place. I mean, think about it. We all were against Amazon Prime on Thursdays. I don't hear everybody bitching about that now.
Not anymore.
We're all figuring it out.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
I still have it. Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
Got to get that share. Yeah, I guess it's just the conveniency of it being over regular TV and then having to go find and then go pay for all the other streaming services. And then being able to afford.
But you honestly, all right, you probably, both you two, you guys are better with your money than I am. But I couldn't tell you what services I have, what services I don't.
Really?
I don't watch so much television. So it's like, I couldn't tell you. I know I got Netflix. I know I got Amazon.
Yeah.
I know I got Apple. But I don't know if I got Hulu. I don't know if I got Paramount. Did I get sucked in for one game for that?
Doesn't the banner come up on your
Yeah, they're all
smart
there.
TV?
Doesn't mean that you have them.
Well, I understand.
No, you don't. You wouldn't have said that.
No, because when they come up, haven't you hit them? Haven't you hit them?
I don't have time to hit them. What do I want to hit them?
Dude,
I have a life, dude. I don't just play shuffleboard all day, golf in Sun Lakes. Seriously.
Don't forget the sun tanning booth too now.
Oh yeah, dude. You too.
Suntan.
You fake tan, don't you? Yes, you do.
Oh, you fake, Jimmy?
Yes,
No,
you do.
There's nothing. I got news for you, boys. There's nothing fake about this.
I don't know, man. You got the hair plugs. I noticed,
Hair club for men.
That's it.
All right. Enough of that. Football 50 brought to you by G2G Protein Bars. You can find them in the refrigerator section in Costco and always online at g2gbar.com. All right, hour number 2 includes this week's Roc's Man Advice, why your friends are draining your wallet. And, of course, we got to talk about it. Taylor Swift breaks the internet. So we'll dive into that. Brandon Krisztal from Denver will talk about the Broncos. And one lucky guy or gal will have a shot to win a man card for the football season for our Twin Peaks picks at 2:45. That's all coming up as we are streaming on TuneIn and the Arizona Sports app and always on YouTube. It's Roc Manuch and Jimmy B, Twin Peaks, Tempe.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Americans may not agree on much, but we agree on Social Security. We all pay in. It ought to be there when we need it. Social Security could face a funding gap in less than a decade, and I don't want to see a pay cut. I'm with AARP in the fight to protect the Social Security we earn.
Pledge to protect Social Security at aarp.org/weearnedit. That's aarp.org/weearnedit. Paid for by AARP.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came back to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Football is back, and Big's American Bar and Grill at P83 is your home for football, preseason action, regular season madness, and the perfect place to host your fantasy football draft. All happening at Big's. Ice-cold drinks, loaded burgers, and wall-to-wall TVs. Right across from the Peoria Sports Complex at 83rd Avenue in Bell. Head to BigsPeoria.com to lock in your fantasy draft party now. Big's, where the West Valley goes for football.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. Is ESPN 620. And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at ArizonaSports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a record, need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right, you're going to want to stick around. Probably the best segment in radio, other than the Clipboard Report on Tuesdays.
Thank you, Roc. Appreciate that.
Roc's Man Vice. 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Always a lot of fun.
I need all the help I can get.
Normally we do it on Fridays, but I figured I'll incorporate Jimmy because some of them may have something to do with Jimmy.
May include?
May include.
Okay, all right.
We have why having friends is draining your wallet. Taylor Swift's in the news. We have a doggy casting call. We have a NBA player that doesn't know how to use a can opener. And then one that we will have to play the disclaimer.
Really?
Very borderline.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, a man whose equipment caused him a trip to the ER.
Woo!
This is a big story that we will get into, and then we're going to check in with Brandon Krisztal from Denver, Fox Sports Radio in Denver. We'll talk maybe Rockies, right? Is that what we're talking about?
No,
Broncos. All right,
we could.
And then
Diamondbacks are visiting.
3:45, it'll be our Twin Peaks picks. Your shot to win yourself a man card for the football season. Some college football that we didn't get into at Football at 50. Some rule changes for 2025. Crackdown on fake injuries. They must leave a play, and then a timeout or penalty has to happen. So this is good, right?
Absolutely.
To get rid of these fake injuries.
Oh my God! It's funny. They were talking about this about a week ago, and it showed a Baylor player running off the field, and he also is running like the coaches are like, "Go down, go down," and he just kind of grabs the back of his leg and goes down, and the officials like right there going, he like really?
Are you kidding?
So I'm glad they're doing this because it's got to be a legitimate injury. Or you know what? Do it like at the bottom of the play. You don't go run off and the coach is going, hey, go down. We need an extra timeout.
Stop the clock.
Sure enough. Yeah, it's long overdue.
Some other rule changes. They added some overtime timeouts, the cleaner visor rules that's in place now, and then unsportsmanlike penalties for mimicking weapons. So that's a big deal.
I've seen that.
Yeah. Remember they got rid of the slash about 7 years ago?
They did. The
knife slash?
Yeah, the throat slash.
I can't wait for tomorrow.
Yes.
Michigan's sign stealing case.
Oh, that's it.
It'll be announced,
tomorrow.
the findings tomorrow, and the punishment, whatever that may be.
What's a fair punishment, guys? They're
not going to get anything.
No.
They're going to get a slap on a wrist.
I was going to say the same thing.
It's old news.
What does the NCAA
already left.
ever do to punish anybody?
Well,
especially somebody like Michigan.
Yeah, but you know what always happens? All those people that were involved in it are gone.
They're gone.
Yeah.
So it's the current coaching staff and the current players who will be hit with whatever the punishment
That's
is.
what's so unfair. That's why I don't think anything will really come down.
I mean, what are they going to do? The coaches are pretty much, there. Like when Harbaugh, they suspended him the first 2 games of the year. And then some games during the middle of the year that meant absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
the NCAA never has any punch, any bite.
They're useless.
To what their penalties are. By the way.
But it takes too long for them to do an investigation.
I was just going to say, remember the Miami case many years ago?
Yeah.
The recruiting?
Yes.
You had that one alumnus who was paying guys off.
Yep.
they investigated that like for 50 years.
Yeah, something like it felt like it.
Now, whatever happened to the penalty that took so damn long for them to finally come to the conclusion that what they were doing is wrong, which was obviously wrong. He was paying the guys on the side.
Yeah.
It was well known in Miami. It was well known around the town.
Yeah, he really didn't hide it.
He didn't hide it at all.
You got green shakes, right, when you played?
Oh, yeah, my green shake was Dad saying to me, "Here's $40 for the month, Daniel. Use it wisely. Here's gas for the four-door Maverick.
I think
Ford Maverick tank."
You're lying. I think what happens is you guys sign something that says that after I graduate, I'm going to keep this. It's like it's a unwritten rule.
No.
It's like a fraternity. You don't tell people what really happened in initiation. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah. I can honestly say the only time anybody called me and made me an offer was I had a decent game against Nebraska my junior year in Manhattan. Had a good, decent game.
New York or where?
No, Manhattan,
Oh.
the Little Apple.
Little Apple.
So
okay.
Nebraska comes in, and it's 3/4 Nebraska fans, the other 4th K-State fans.
Sure.
So I had a good game, and we had a chance to beat them, but they pulled ahead at the end. So I'm in my dorm room. We had phones in the dorm room.
Wow.
Yeah, we had phones.
Boy.
How about that?
We did.
So a crock pot.
Yeah. So I'm getting ready to go out to a party. He was having this party. So the phone rings. I pick up, and then, hey, Dan, this is Joe so-and-so. I own Jim Bob's dealership here in Kansas City. Hey, great game. Had a chance to listen to it. Some of the folks were there. Hey, would you be interested in maybe driving one of our cars? And I went, well, you know what? I probably – let me think about that. Probably shouldn't do that. I said, I'm fine with my 4-door Ford Maverick. But he made the offer. And at the time, I'm like, well, that'll be good. We're already on probation. We were headed for probation.
Okay.
My junior year. I went, you know what? This doesn't sound right. So I said, you know what? I appreciate it. Thanks, but no thanks. Never heard from the guy again.
Got no balls, Manuch. I would have said, I want it in blue.
Yeah.
Can you get it here tomorrow?
Yeah, can I have it tomorrow?
You know that Grand Prix that Gary Spaney's driving? I could probably do well in a Grand Prix, but I didn't. I just
QB.
But I know, but my sense was, you know what? I want to go down that road.
He's such a good guy.
Cause harm.
Remember, Rock, this is a guy, when you asked him if he was ever on a cover of a magazine, he was on with the band.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't even him.
I hope that makes our paybacks one of these days.
Four band members.
Speaking of Michigan, Nebraska, as you mentioned that you had a good game against, but you still lost. Arrowhead is going to host Cincinnati, Nebraska on August 28th. 66,000 tickets have already been sold, and it's like 90% Huskers.
Oh, yeah.
It always is.
They travel
so
well.
You know what? And that,
I kind of wish I was a Nebraska fan.
Well, that's all there is in the state, right?
No, I know.
There's
It's the
nothing
big.
else.
I know Lincoln's the biggest on game
That's
day,
it.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, the only time I ever had to try to quiet down the crowd at my home stadium was because they were loud in the south end zone, and we're going for a 2-point conversion, and I'm like, I look at the official, he goes, Dan, that's Nebraska fans, you're in your home team. So he gave him a timeout. He gave I tried to do that. He said, Manucci, just run the play. Those are Nebraska fans. There's not much I can do about
that.
Why? There's certain ADs over the years that are very generous on their seat placement for visiting teams.
That's right.
I'll never understand why some teams allow the band of the opposing team to be lower level in the corner. I'm putting them in that 700 level or whatever. I'm putting them as high up there as possible.
On the roof.
And I don't care. I don't care if they have to leave the beginning of the first quarter to get their whole band down there to do a halftime show.
Yeah.
But come on, why do they do that?
I don't know, man. It was my awakening to the Nebraska Cornhusker fans. You're already aware of that when you get there, that they're just great fans. They travel. But when they come into your own house and they dominate and they're so loud, you can't get the play call. And then after going into the second, when he looked at me, he goes, just run the play. I can't do anything about it. So that's a conversation I had with the official, the back judge, and we ran the play. We got it off. We didn't score, but we got it off.
So some early season matchups. You look at not week 0, but week 1, it is absolutely loaded. You have number 1 versus number 3 in Ohio State. You got number 9 LSU and number 4 Clemson. Number 10 Miami versus number 6 Notre Dame. And remember, the expanded 12-team playoff means an early loss won't end Texas's playoff dreams this year. So after they lose to Ohio State, they'll be all right. They'll still have a shot.
You are so positive of that. I know you're an Ohio State fan. but I'm not so sure that that's going to take place.
Well, you remember,
in Columbus,
Texas lost 12 starters.
I understand
12.
But they reloaded.
Yeah, well, I get that.
They reloaded.
They got Arch. He's the bell cow.
Yeah.
But Ohio State reloaded as well, too.
Yeah, but aren't they going to start a freshman QB?
They will. Yeah, they will. But, yeah, I think, you think of, but isn't, I think Texas is an underdog.
2.5
points.
Yeah.
Number one team underdog.
I know. I asked that yesterday on the show. I asked him. I said, and it was, I just blanked on his name. The Fiesta Bowl.
Eric Moses.
Eric Moses. Thank you.
Yeah, I think.
And he said, I've never seen that.
This is one of the best Labor Day college football weekends, I think, ever, to your point, Rock. All the ranked teams. I love it. Ranked teams playing each other.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I know.
What an anomaly.
What a concept.
Then you get it stacked. But I think, if you lose early, that's got to be about the only loss you have. Because if you lose again to a lower ranked opponent,
right,
that might kick you out.
All right, Roc's Manwise is next. We have Taylor Swift crashing the internet. Travis Kelce turns her into a football nerd, so we'll get into that. Sixers star loses a battle with a can opener. Plus, why is $250 a month going to cost you keeping me as your friend?
$250.
That's all?
Jimmy, $250. It's sports, it's pop culture, it's all next. It's Roc's Manwise here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right, folks, here we go. 3rd and long, and your old underwear just got blitzed again. Sweaty, bunched up, riding high. That's a wardrobe malfunction, and you cannot coach through that. But hold everything. Chill Boys enters the game. Cool, breathable bamboo boxers, smooth as a perfectly executed 2-minute drill. I slipped on a pair and bam, total comfort in the pocket, even in the Arizona heat. I've called a lot of clutch performances in my day, and I'm calling it right now. Chill Boys is the MVP of underwear. We've all made the switch here at ESPN 620, and trust me, you should too. Head to chillboys.com, use code ESPN, and get 20% off your first order. That's chillboys.com. Folks, this is a game changer. You cannot afford to fumble.
Parents, we need to talk about teen violence. It's hurting our kids and our communities.
Seeing how violence impacts our kids is heartbreaking. We need to step up.
It affects everyone. So when it comes to teen violence videos, do the right thing. Report it. Don't repost.
The Maricopa County Attorney's Office is committed to keeping our community safe and free from teen violence. Let's work together to report videos of violence instead of reposting them. Together, we can create a safer community.
You always say that I'm your whole heart. I believe you, and so does the American Heart Association. That's why this American Heart Month, they want to make sure that you and every other parent know CPR to make sure you are ready. Ready to save my life when it matters most. Learn CPR today so you can be ready and become a part of the nation of lifesavers.
Visit heart.org/nation to learn more.
Don't miss exclusive conversations with Derek Hall, Tori Lavello, Mike Hazen, and more weekly on Arizona Sports. D-backs decision makers from the team's front office join Wolf and Luke Wednesday mornings at 11:45. Team president Derek Hall joins Bakley and Murata Thursday mornings at 7:45. The skipper joins Burns and Gambo Friday afternoons at 2:30. Never miss another D-backs conversation when you subscribe to the Arizona Sports YouTube channel. Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app, the local sports leader and the home of Arizona Diamondbacks baseball.
At Child Fund, hope means helping millions of children living in poverty worldwide grow up healthy, educated, skilled, and safe. That means safe at home, at school, and online.
Hope means walking this path together, all of us. Because when we work together, we can do so much more.
That's right. Hope includes you.
Child Fund, because we need each other.
Learn more at childfund.org.
Do you roll like Roc when it comes to romance?
What do you say we go out on a date? Have some chicken, maybe some sex,
see what happens.
Roc searches the world for tips on dating, divorce, marriage, pop culture, and even... Yes! Yes! Yeah, here's Roc's Mad Vice.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Well, let me tell you about my best friend.
Yeah, you got a friend in me.
You got a friend.
Oh, I get high with help from my friends. Just waiting on a friend. Well, have a good time playing with my friend. My best friend. She's my best friend's girl. You're my best friend.
Bestest friends in the whole world.
You seriously are a best friend. Like, I can't even lie. Like, you are it. You are the one. You are numero uno.
Do you have a best friend?
All right, a new survey says being social costs millennials and Generation Z about $250 a month. Men spend $296, women $208. This is like on brunches, dinners, bar nights. 44% have skipped events due to the cost, and a quarter say social spending keeps them from saving money. I mean, $250 a month to have friends. I mean, I'll just get a dog. Seriously.
I was going to say, I mean, my friendship with you, Roc, is getting you coffee every day, 30 days, $90 after it's all said and done. I mean,
you don't pay for it.
I know, but I get it. I mean, if I were to pay for it,
yeah, well, I wish you would.
About $3.
It'd be better than some of that stuff that we've had at the station. I don't know how Wolf drinks that stuff.
You know what?
It is so bad.
It's coffee. It's black. It's hot.
The worldwide leader, you should think they bring in a better coffee company.
Manuch would drink
it's
tar
so
off
bad.
of a parking lot if he could.
If it's hot, I'm drinking.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, there's a French app called Inviting. It lets couples sell $100 to $200 tickets to strangers for their wedding. So guests will get food, music, they get to mingle, and couples get to help pay for the average wedding. What do you think the cost of an average wedding is?
Right now, I'm going to say 20 to $25,000.
I'll go 15,000.
33,000.
Yeah, I remember.
However, if you live in Scottsdale and your kids are looking to have a wedding, it's upwards about $100,000 to $150,000. And then they have these engagement parties that are another 30, 40 grand. It's unbelievable how whacked out these kids are these days.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, like if you're like 25 to 35, they're having, and it's their first weddings. Because you know, I understand it. The woman wants to have her dream wedding, Cinderella, all that other BS. But but for that kind of money, are you kidding me? 100,000 plus.
Wow, man.
I mean, I don't know what this average. That's including probably Nebraska and Iowa, some small, Oregon. I mean, because here, you got to put a one in front of that.
If you live in Iowa or Nebraska, you can just do that in a cornfield.
Or just go to the bowling alley.
Exactly.
When my daughter got married a year or 2 years ago, she did a good job budgeting, making it affordable. But it was in that $20,000 to $30,000 range after it's all said and done. I mean, that's about the norm.
All right. Taylor Swift went on New Heights with Travis and Jason Kelly yesterday. 1.3 million people tuned in.
Amazing.
The feed crashed in mid-show. Chaos, of course. Yeah. Before the blackout, she dropped the cover, the track list, the October 3rd release date for her. It just was huge. Here is how it all, I believe this is the intro of her coming on for the first time and how Jason sold it to us, which he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's a talent.
Our guest today is a singer, songwriter, and producer and director from Nashville, Tennessee. That's bullshit. She is from Reading, Pennsylvania. She is the most awarded artist in the history of the American Music Awards, Billboard Music Awards, and iHeart Radio Music Awards.
Yeah, damn.
Just 14 Grammy Awards, and is the only artist in the history to win Album of the Year 4 times. Last December, she wrapped up the Eras Tour, which spanned 149 shows across 51 cities, 5 continents. It was the most attended tour of all time. I'm still going. Hold up. Her last album, The Torture Poets Department, set a record with 1.76 billion streams globally within the first week alone.
All right.
In the first week? And as a fan of that guy on the Chiefs, she has 19 wins, 2 AFC titles, and a Super Bowl. Are you ready for it? Making your podcasting debut, the most aggressive guest in the history of shows, Taylor Swift!
That intro, Jason.
How big is that? That show,
great.
that podcast is just killing it. Travis told GQ they being her, turn into each other's interns, and she now studies NFL playbooks and injury reports, and he's learning about the concert business. So she is totally engulfed as a fan of the National Football League.
I saw one of their clips, and she said, I never knew that this life existed when she met him, because he gave her a totally different life away from all the stardom and music to a life of fun, because sports is fun, and she hadn't had that.
I thought it was interesting how Jason gave the numbers since she's been with him, the wins, playoffs, and the Super Bowl. By the way, they were saying there was 50,000 people waiting before it started waiting to get online.
That's incredible.
We were at the Venetia's Pizzeria in Chandler yesterday, and Jeremy.
I don't get it.
Yeah, Jeremy goes, you're not going to believe this, guys. He came out, I don't know, a half hour before, said there's 50,000 people waiting to jump online, because he went online to check it all out. And I went, you're kidding me. So it doesn't surprise me it went down and how many people were on there.
Sixers guard Tyrese Maxey went on Instagram Live to admit he's never used a manual can opener, that he struggled for almost 13 minutes. We're going to play a minute of it, but 13 minutes on how to open a can of pumpkin for his dogs. I mean, Philly fans we're used to turnovers, but not like this.
I need your help, man. Listen, I'm only on here for one reason. I don't even get on live, but I need y'all help. I need to feed my dogs, and normally Chef helps me use the can opener for my dogs. Tell me what I need to do. Somebody on here, help me out. Show me how to work this thing. Y'all over here talking about the season. I need help with this so I can feed my dogs. You don't know how to use a can? No, I don't. Sorry. I spent all my life working out upside down. You ain't serious, but I'm dead serious, K-Wit. Just use a knife. Flip it.
You know where this is going to go. When he's on the road. Can opener. It's just going to go viral.
It'll be great.
All right, rock, paper, scissors strategy. A poll shows that 34% of people throw rock first. So your best opening move is paper. And if someone asks for a number between 1 and 10, 36% say 7. What do you think about that?
I just did rock, paper, scissors with a guy at a bar the other night for drinks.
You must have really been bored.
I was. Yeah, all that was on was baseball. So we did that for drinks, and I'm trying to think. I believe I went with scissors, and he did too on the first go round.
I'd always do rock.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do rock as well.
Just right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Move
All
on.
right. Only 54% of Americans drink alcohol. It's the lowest since Gallup started tracking in 1939. So these younger generations are somewhat leading the trend, with 53% of adults saying even moderate drinking is bad for your health. So, yeah. Well, I like to know how many more people are smoking pot.
I was just going to say
that that used to drink.
Yeah.
They're vaping and doing whatever and gummies and, where it's legal.
Yes, they've converted over, or should have changed over.
All right. I need to play a disclaimer for this next story. And if you got kids in the car, it's not appropriate. I'm just telling you, you don't need to listen to it. It's just a little bit. It's for grown-ups, okay? This is for grown-ups.
I got to leave.
So I'm going to play the disclaimer, and then we'll get into this little story. Actually, big story.
The views and opinions expressed by host, guests, or callers on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B do not reflect the opinions or endorsements of ESPN 620, Bonneville International, any sports teams affiliated with this station, or any individuals associated with the station. The broadcasts of Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B are intended for entertainment purposes, and listeners are encouraged to use their own judgment in forming conclusions. The ownership of the radio station does not confirm or deny the validity or accuracy of the information aired on this program. All content, products, and services presented are meant for enjoyment. We encourage keeping an open mind and not interpreting the presenting stories, facts, or services as absolute truth. In other words, we invite you to relax, not to be so PC, and enjoy the ride with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right.
Wow. Let's be serious.
Here's the headline. Man with world's largest package breaks arm. That's what grabbed me.
Okay.
It's a hell of a headline.
So this guy in London, all right, he's got a 14.4-inch problem.
Woo! Wow.
So he slipped in the shower because he couldn't see past himself to spot the soap that was on the floor. 2 fractures later, he's in a sling, and he's still making headlines. Now, some guys can't see their feet because they're beer belly. This guy's got, he's got a different kind of six-pack.
Taking the term headlines to an all-new level on that one right there, Roc.
I have one that ties in with that. I saw it today online.
No. Don't even go there because what you're going to say is probably not going to be right.
No, it's going to be right.
You promise? Because if you do, I want your resignation if we get in any trouble now.
I'll give it to you. So they, at a TV station, Savannah, covering the Atlanta Falcons, okay? So they were covering the Falcons. Michael Penix Jr. was at the podium speaking, and this particular TV station, you know how you put the guy's name on the graphic down below? Instead of Michael Penix, it said Michael Penis.
So it's an error.
How does that
Michael
happen?
Penis.
Where's the double check on that?
I'm with you.
Good old intern. You can't keep good interns anymore.
You can see it online.
Oh, man. That's yeah. Yeah. A lot of package right there.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot.
Don't even try, guys. Seriously, you guys do this every time. You try to be funny. You're not. You're just going to make payback. You're going to be embarrassed later.
I just told the story.
I mean, you're just come on.
It's a whole lot to unwrap that one there, for sure.
All right. Up next, could the team that should have gone 15-2 last year be the Denver Broncos? Well, we'll break down Bo Nix's rise, the rebuild run game, and why this defense may be the best in 2025 yet again. We're going to catch up with Brandon Krisztal from Denver next, right after this Twin Peaks ESPN 620 update.
It's time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Twin Peaks ESPN 620 update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Diamondbacks took 2 of 3 from the Rangers, all thanks to Tel Marte, who delivered go-ahead 9th-inning homers on back-to-back days. Now Cattell and the D-backs will look to stay hot as they head to Colorado for the start of a 4-game series. Eduardo Rodriguez gets the nod for Arizona, while Bradley Blaylock takes the mound for the Rockies. The Cardinals will head to Denver to take on the Broncos in their second preseason game, giving backups and young players a chance to get some reps and make an impression before the regular season starts. Sign up now for our 2025 Pro Football Fan Pick'em. Powered by Twin Peaks and their 5 Valley Lodges, make your picks weekly to beat Roc, Manuch, and Jimmy B, and you can score some prizes all season long. Bragging rights are on the line, so get in the game with Twin Peaks, the ultimate home for football.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per-person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with a perfect plan to ensure everyone's well-fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers bring more air for less money. rust-free, USA built, backed by over 40 years of cooling expertise. Available now at Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, Tractor Supply, and Northern Tool. For more information, go to staycool-products.com. Stay Cool Products. Form, function, value. Get yours today and beat the heat.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Roc is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Roc is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Roc is the way to go.
I'm Attorney Shevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Turner and Roc is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
The Arizona heat is brutal, but your golf game doesn't have to suffer. Swing Shift Golf Club is your air-conditioned escape, open 24/7 with top-tier simulators and zero sunscreen required. And let's be honest, no other indoor golf spot even comes close. Swing Shift is absolutely stunning. It's modern, spotless, and designed to impress. Leagues ahead of the competition. Memberships start at just $129 a month. Cool off, tee off. Only at Swing Shift Golf in Scottsdale. Join now at theswingshift.golf.
Draft your fantasy team where the real MVPs are at Twin Peaks. Ice cold beverages, wall-to-wall TVs, legendary eats, and scenic views. This is how you fantasy draft. Commissioners score a $50 bonus card, plus $5 for every drafter at the lodge. Lock in your draft party now at TwinPeaksRestaurant.com/fantasy draft. Or better yet, just stop into one of 5 Valley Twin Peaks lodges. Twin Peaks, the ultimate draft day destination.
Being a family member's caregiver can be rewarding and challenging. Besides taking an emotional and physical toll, it can also take a real financial toll. Find out if you're eligible to get paid for the care you provide at the AARP Foundation Paid for Care Hub. Developed with support from United Healthcare, this free online tool can help you search compensation programs and explore your options. Go to paidforcare.aarpfoundation.org to learn more.
It's Thursday, and welcome to Lodge Mentality. The guys are live at Twin Peaks Tempe, located in the Tempe Marketplace. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Right, Nix takes a shotgun snap, 4-man rush, throws back to the end zone. Sutton's there, makes the catch, touchdown, Denver.
Bo Nix, what a rookie year he had, and I know Denver Bronco fans are they can't wait for this year. I know one of my business partners named his daughter Bo, not spelled B-O, but but B-E-A-U. But but that's a diehard, and his other kid's name's Peyton. So anyway, there are a lot of diehards out here, as we know. And joining us now to talk Broncos is Brandon Krisztal, Fox Sports Radio Denver. You can follow him on Twitter at BK Denver Sports. Brandon, when you talk about Bo Nix, and there's been some really good quarterbacks over the years through Denver, Elway being the top, Manning, Plummer, and you throw Craig Morton in there. I think he led you guys to your first Super Bowl. I know Bo Nix has only got 1 year under his belt, but is he pulling in the fanfare right now? Or are we seeing, tons of jerseys being sold and all that good stuff?
Yeah, in fact, that's a good way to kind of look at it, is where are the jersey sales? And they have the best defensive player in football, and Pat Surtain Jr. And my soon-to-be 7-year-old, whose birthday's next week, got a PS2 jersey last year, and it's probably going to get a different color this year. Not that I'm not ready to get him a Bo Nix jersey. I should clarify, Craig Morton, who's in the Ring of Fame, did take him to that first Super Bowl. I was just being born in Dallas and grew up a Cowboys fan. So to call the Broncos my team would be inaccurate, but I'm going into season 19 covering them. And the Cowboys aggravate me to no end, so I yell at the TV, but I don't put much stock in anything else Jerry does, so I'm not losing sleep. But Craig, also a good Cowboys QB back in the day. Nonetheless, Bo Nix has certainly captured the young fans here. And when you talk to the team, when they get jerseys in, Bo Nix, at various times of the year, around Christmas, it was far and away their hottest seller throughout the offseason. It's been their best seller. When you draft a cornerback who's going to be a good player, but you take a corner in the first round, that's not going to jump ahead. So it's and it makes the Bo Nix throwback, because the Broncos throwbacks were really popular last year. The old school ones from the 70s and 80s that they wore and into the 90s. They make Bo and PS2 jerseys for those. But yeah, so Bo Nix has captured the hearts and minds of young Broncos fans who had to suffer through a decade of bad quarterback play. This is the first time, by the way, and Peyton Manning was out of practice today, but since Peyton Manning and Gary Kubiak took them to Super Bowl 50 a decade ago at Levi's Stadium, that they've had the same quarterback and head coach in back-to-back seasons. So going into 2015 was the last time you had Kubiak and Peyton together from 14 and 15. And then, or I guess, no, not even, because that was Kubiak's first year, I think about it. So really even before that, that you've had the same quarterback and head coach. I guess it was going back to John Fox and Peyton for 2 years.
You know, Brent, everybody likes to say, hey, look, Sean Payton developed Drew Brees, young quarterback, and Bo Nix. Not that you like to compare them, but what somewhat been the game plan for Sean Payton to develop Bo Nix? Are there any similarities to different type quarterbacks? Does he mention one way or the other what that would be?
I think the similarities start with, and Manuch, you know as well as anybody, having played the position and coaching kids to try to get to the highest level and looking at what Brock Purdy's become, that the number one trait the greatest quarterbacks have had, or the ones that really make the truly great ones great, is their ability to process. I understand you have guys like Brett Favre. I'm not saying he couldn't process, but Brett admittedly didn't know the difference between cover 2 and cover 3 or whatever it was coming out. Yeah. Right. But that's few and far between. And Mike Vick talked about, had he studied more, he would have been even better, which is kind of scary to think about. But that Bo, being the son of a high school coach who played quarterback himself at Auburn, and his grandpa, I think, played at Auburn and might have been a coach as well. But he's just blessed with the ability to get to the line of scrimmage and know what's going on. Now, as he told Kay Adams last week when she was here, that last year he memorized everything, but didn't necessarily always understand it at first, certainly early on. But because he's got that ability to process things quickly and understand the information and learn it fast, that was something that Sean talked about when they worked him out at Oregon, that they, just like they did with Patrick Mahomes, and it's all going to be in Seth Wickersham's book, and it was in that excerpt that came out last week, but that Mahomes memorized way more of the playbook than a lot of quarterbacks often do, from giving it to him in the afternoon and expecting him, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the next morning at 9 to know a bunch of it. And Bo was right there and understood a lot of it. So that's the biggest similarity, I think, with he and Drew Brees. He's faster than Drew was, and he's obviously bigger, and I think has as big of an arm, and neither of them have the biggest arm in the world, but has a better arm than people realize. But I think it starts with that supercomputer brain that special people have. And sometimes you have quarterbacks that have the supercomputer brain but don't have the talent, or plenty we know that have the arm strength, maybe like a Jeff George, but don't have anywhere near that supercomputer brain necessarily.
All right, so what did you see this morning at the practice? That's what everybody wants to know.
Well, if I'm writing headlines, I'll do one quick thing on Bo Nix, but that's not going to be the headline that excites all the Cardinals fans down there. Bo Nix had his best practice of the entire training camp. He actually looked pretty good last week in San Fran, and I think a lot of that has to do with the Broncos defense. And the Broncos, people keep saying it, and Vance Joseph, when I asked him yesterday, did he mind that they gave up a touchdown that first drive to the Niners backups on Saturday? And he said he doesn't mind a little adversity. He's not the one saying we have the best defense. That's for folks in the media and outside to say, but they're going to be really good. And even with Nick Bonito a little banged up right now and Drake Greenlaw banged up, they are one of the best defenses in football if they're all healthy when the year starts. So I think that's affected Bo Nix some. But that being said, everybody but Bonito and Drake Greenlaw were on the practice field today. Zach Allen, who just got that new big deal, I'm not sure Cardinals fans expect him to be as good as he's become as a second-team All-Pro, and Pat Surtain, defense player. They're all out there. Trey McBride jumped off jumped off the screen if we were watching it on video. Trey McBride, in the first couple team periods, dominated the Broncos and had, I think, 9 straight catches when the ball was thrown to him. So that may have been some 7-on-7 mixed in. It slowed down a little as the Broncos kind of tightened it up later on. But early on, Trey McBride didn't look just like the best player. He looked like the best tight end we've ever seen. I mean, it was that level of dominance. They had a nice run play with James Conner against the ones. And so I don't know how good the Cardinals offense is going to be. Marvin Harrison Jr. made some plays, not on PS2, and then had a really an underthrown ball that was broken up. But with Harrison being as talented as he is, with Trey McBride maybe being right behind Brock Bowers as the second most dangerous tight end in the league, and maybe the most dangerous in the NFC, and then with James Conner and how hard he runs, they're going to certainly make some noise. Again, the Broncos D kind of tightened up, and when they got into the red zone period, they couldn't really do much at that point. But you got to be excited about that. And then defensively, you didn't see much from the Cardinals that slowed down what Bo Nix and company were able to do. The run defense was solid for the few run play. I hate run plays. Even in full pads, you're going to get a little bit better look. But these guys aren't going that hard. And so with Calais Campbell back in town, he was stoked to see Steve Atwater, which was cool. So it took him back to being a kid, seeing Steve Atwater walk by, who works with the team. And so it was a good day, I think, for both teams. And I'm sure when Gannon's asked about it, since he talks before practice, he'll say that it was good work for Sean Payton, who was uncertain about a second straight week working against another team, which is something he said he's never done. He was really happy with it, which is also why we're not going to see any Broncos starters on Saturday.
Okay, then that was my follow-up then. What do you anticipate, at least in the first half of the game on Saturday? If Peyton's already coming out and saying, hey, I'm not really going to play my top guys, do you expect that as well from Jonathan Gannon?
I would think so. I know this a year ago, and I've never done this in my life, and I probably won't do it this year. I'd never bet on a preseason game, but I bet on the Broncos and Packers because I knew the Packers weren't playing the starters, and Sean Payton quietly was game planning for Bo Nix to play really well. I mean, so he had to put a little more thought instead of just keeping it vanilla. I'm not saying it wasn't too vanilla, and so I won money on the Packers, so then I'm playing the Cardinals. And talking to people with the Cardinals and kind of getting a sense of where they were, Kyler was banged up. There was some uncertainty. And knowing Zach Wilson, who had 34 starts, is going to be playing against a bunch of guys that was still getting the first team reps, but then Zach Wilson getting the whole second half. But playing against guys who are maybe going to be high school coaches in a week, I like the Broncos' chances. But that still had the starters out there to kind of give them a little lead because they wanted to see some Bo Nix. And so Bo Nix and the starters played a little bit. Then Stidham played, I guess, now that I think about it. If memory serves me, maybe Stidham played the whole game. Either way, but Zach Wilson diced them up. Nonetheless, you didn't see much of the Broncos starters last year. You're going to apparently see 40 of them not dressing, is what Sean Payton said, because he said they're going to have a workout Sunday now because 40 of them aren't going to play Saturday night. So, and then the starters will play 8 to 10 plays for Denver in a week in New Orleans when they wrap up the preseason. But Sean really liked the work they got. And so because of that, he didn't need to expose Bo to any more hits. Thus, he doesn't have to put his first team O-line or Cortland Sutton or Evan Ingram out there. And then on defense, he doesn't need to put Pat Surtain or Jonathan Cooper or Zach Allen or John Franklin Myers out there, DJ Jones, some of those vets, Fonga, who's come over from San Francisco as well. Those guys won't be out there. So it'll be a good chance for some of these young guys on both sides of the ball, I think, to make plays, but maybe a little too early to indicate or to get exactly what Gannon's thinking. But I know that he and Sean spent a lot of time talking about what today's practice would look like. And I think that they were able to set up the scenarios they wanted. So it won't surprise me if we don't see, Kyler or K1, as I'm sure many people, including Vance Joseph, call him, and Calais and Connor and McBride and all those guys. So it's going to be great for the folks that are there in attendance. I'm not sure it'll be great on TV.
Brandon, is Sean Payton, is he kind of flipped the script that defense wins championships and that he wants to make sure that he doesn't have that high-flying Melinda Brothers offense like they had in New Orleans? They won one Super Bowl, but they were like the Chargers of old. They could score all kind of points, but never had the defense to sustain them for world championships. Has he mentioned that might be the lesson he's learned to build with a defense, which you are, and to have a very sustainable offense and have a chance at getting to more Super Bowls if you've got that talent?
He hasn't really acknowledged that because he's not one that's going to concede that winning a game 12-10 is good enough, where I think, the coach that he certainly mentions the most in terms of a mentor is Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells was fine winning a game 12-10. As long as he got out of there with the win, he didn't care. Sean Payton, and he's got the data and track record to prove it, but Sean Payton has been one of the best play callers, play designers that the game's ever seen. And that's why his offenses with Breeze for all those years were as high, high scoring and high powered as they were every year, top 5 offense, top 3 offense, really creative in all the formations and using the backside of the backfield in the passing game. And he's not ready to concede any of that. It's just that he came into a situation with some good defensive pieces and added some more around. Now added even more this offseason, like I mentioned, Hufanga, Greenlaw, drafting Janae Barron, that it makes his life easier because the defense is going to keep them in games. And if they can get a lead like they did last year, then you end up leading the NFL in sacks because you've got a lead in a bunch of games, especially the one thing they did really well last year was beat bad teams. So you remember on Thursday night when they're playing a JV Saints team in New Orleans, and Spencer Rattler looks like he's never played, organized football almost. They destroyed them, Now they were 1-6 in one-score games, and that only win was in a deluge in New York against Aaron Rodgers and the Jets in Week 4 when I think they won 10-9 on Bo Nix's first career touchdown, which was just a little dump off in the end zone on like a first and goal from the 3 or whatever it was. But Sean doesn't want to win 10-9 games. He wants to win games 30-9 and let you know how creative he is and how good his offense is. And this defense has gotten the better of the offense a bunch in training camp. And so that's why I look at the couple good plays that the Cardinals had early on, ones versus ones, and I feel really good about that because of how good this defense is going to be. But no, Sean's never going to tell you that, while he'll acknowledge having a really good defense makes things easier, he's not going to concede, I don't think, that he doesn't need an offense that scores 24 points a game or more, which is what he's had his whole career.
Brandon, I'm sorry we ran out of time. I wanted to talk Rockies, but we'll have to do that another time.
Hey, next year they may field a major league team, but we did have the Savannah Banana sellout 2 nights in a row here.
There you go.
So my kids had a blast there.
Thank you, Brandon, as always, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Hey, thanks. Talk to you guys soon.
That's Brandon Krisztal, Fox Sports Denver. You can follow him on Twitter, BK Denver Sports. He was at the joint practices, you could hear. All right, we are looking for someone brave, someone to take on one of the gorgeous Twin Peaks girls here at Tempe. If you think you got what it takes, prove it. 602-230-0620. 602-230-0620. 3 games. There'll be Chiefs at Seahawks tomorrow night. There'll be Broncos Cards on Saturday, and then Bills and Bears on Sunday night. So those will be the 3 games you'll pick. And we can do it off the air with CC, but we'll take the 5th caller at 602-230-0620. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B right here on ESPN 620.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Rock for WhiteToyota.com. At White Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WhiteToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WhiteToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WhiteToyota.com.
Beat the heat with AC Experts. Is your air conditioning ready for summer? Don't sweat it. Our certified technicians are here to keep your home cool and comfortable. From routine maintenance to emergency repairs, we've got you covered. Enjoy staycations in a perfectly chilled home. For a limited time, take advantage of our special discounts on new AC installations. Call AC Experts today at 480-386-6980 or visit acexpertsaz.com to schedule your appointment. Stay cool, Arizona.
Remember when things were built to last? Well, at Arizona Patio Furniture, we've been handcrafting premium outdoor furniture and custom cushions for over 15 years, right here in Phoenix, using 100% American-made materials. We build it, we sell it, we guarantee it with our exclusive 5-year plus worry-free warranty. Visit any one of our 3 Valley showrooms or go to ArizonaPatioFurniture.com. Mention this ad for free delivery and setup in Maricopa County. Arizona Patio Furniture. Some things are still made like they used to be.
This summer, escape the heat and head to Backyard Desert Ridge, where Valley sports fans go to play. Catch every big moment on 4 massive 10 by 18-foot LED screens and over 40 HD TVs. Fuel up with wings, nachos, and 45-plus beers or cocktails on tap. Then keep the party going with live DJs and reverse happy hour specials. And this fall, it's Forks Up at Backyard, your go-to spot to catch every Sun Devil football game all season long. Reserve your table now at BackyardUSA.com.
Opioid misuse and overdose deaths are serious health issues across the U.S. Anyone at a workplace, including workers, clients, customers, and visitors, can be at risk of an overdose if they use opioids. Are you prepared? Consider making non-prescription naloxone nasal spray a part of your workplace first aid kit. Naloxone reverses an opioid overdose and saves lives. Maintain workplace safety, offer training, and always call 911 for a suspected overdose. Visit naloxoneaz.com.
Are you ready? It's your weekly chance to challenge one of the beautiful girls from Twin Peaks. It's Peaks Picks. The Twin Peaks girls are the essential ingredient to the perfect lodge experience. Each week, our girl next door Twin Peaks contestant takes on an ESPN 620 listener for 3 games. Get the most picks right. Win a $25 man card for one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations: Scottsdale, Phoenix, Glendale, Tempe, and Deer Valley. Now, time for Peaks Picks.
All right, today we are in Tempe, absolutely packed for lunch today until about 2 o'clock. So some liquid lunches going on today. It is back to school. You can score some of the smartest specials of the year. We'll get to that in a moment. But let's get the picks out of the way first. We have Yo-Yo joining us all the way from Buffalo, New York. Joins us here, right?
Sure.
All right, we have 3 games. You're competing against Alex and Chandler. So Alex has given the scores or his predictions to Connor back at our studios. So we'll start with the Chiefs are playing the Seahawks tomorrow night. Who do you like in this one? Chiefs or Seahawks?
It's a little bit of both because we have a couple Chiefs fans over here that work. Honestly, let's go Seahawks.
Going Seahawks. All right, what's Alex going with, Connor?
Alex did go with Kansas City.
Okay, all right. So let's go with Seahawks and Kansas City.
All right, Yo-Yo from Buffalo, New York. All right, Cardinals at the Broncos. That'll be Saturday night. Which way are you going to be leaning on this one?
You know what? Cardinals they're doing really good the last game. I'm going to go Cardinals.
All right, so you got Cardinals. All right, which way is Alex going there? CC?
He's also going Cardinals.
Oh, yes.
Cardinals. All right, now your Bills are playing Chicago Sunday night. Now we need to score this game.
No, you know, I can't go against my team.
Nope. So who do you?
Let's go Bills.
Okay, well, give me a score.
Let's go 20-10.
All right.
20-10.
Right.
Bills.
All right, CC, which way is Alex leaning on the Bills and Bears?
Alex.
Alex went with the Bears, winning 28-14.
Oh, you?
Yeah. Be nice.
I'm going to be
This
watching.
is social media. All right.
There's that Buffalonian coming out of her.
All right, there we go. All right, Alex, thanks for playing. Appreciate that. All right, let's talk about back to school specials going on. They're going through tomorrow. It's been all week. Cheap shots, baller shots, sweet things, cocktails, draft shots. So, of all these specials, give us your top 2 sellers.
Top 2 sellers.
The ones that you think that are doing well.
Now, the liquid marijuana, I'll say that one's a good one.
Okay. Do you know what's in that by any chance?
Oh, it's going to have rum, green and blue liqueur, and then tops it off with pineapple juice. It's really good.
Sounds like a pretty good drink.
It's a nice, refreshing summer
Yeah.
shot. We also make it as a drink, too. So if you want to get a little crazy and drink a little more,
Liquid marijuana. Okay.
we have to... Well, I don't know if I can say that on the So
but even if you're going to think about saying something that you don't know if you can say it or not, you just don't go there.
we have other fun shot names here.
Yeah,
to
you
get
can't.
you a little excited.
You can't say the one
You
with
just
Crown
have
Royal
to,
in it.
Oh yeah, you have to come on down.
Yeah.
Try it out yourself.
What a tease! I love it.
That works out really well. All right, happy hour gets going on here at 3 o'clock. So you got discounts on drafts at 3 to 6, and then reverse happy hour at 10, right?
10 all the way to 12.
Good
$2
stuff.
off our beers, $2 off our appetizers. Come on down.
And when are you working? So if anybody's watching on YouTube, they want to come down and say hi. When are you typically here?
Well, I'm here tomorrow. I'm here Saturday. I'm here
all the time.
day. All day. You come on down.
You're a hard working
You come on down.
Yes, there you go. Yo-Yo, thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. By the way, you can draft your fantasy team here at Twin Peaks as well. Ice cold 29-degree beers, wall-to-wall TVs. You got the food, which is awesome. The city views are even better. And if you want to do your draft here, commissioners will score a $50 bonus card plus $5 for every drafter at the lodge. You can either go into any of the 5 locations, or you can go to twinpeaksrestaurants.com/fantasy draft. But I recommend you just stop in, and that way you can reserve your table, and then you can have everything you need to make Twin Peaks your ultimate draft day destination. So good there. All right, so we got our picks in for the lady and, of course, Alex in Chandler. So that worked out really well. Coming up in hour number 3, Ted Robinson will join us. We are hoping to catch up with when Jeff Van Raaphorst as well, a color analyst for the Sun Devils, and Howard Balzer. So we'll go from Pac-12 to Big 12 to the National Football League in hour number 3. So we're absolutely packed on that. Jimmy B will be back here. We may have him in our third hour. Yeah, we have a fourth hour now.
We don't want to tax him. Yeah, we can tell Jim we got a fourth hour.
Yeah, we have fourth hour from 4 to 5. So you're all in on that.
You know, you look at it is surprising there's no Thursday night games, but
I don't get it.
It's just interesting how so many teams are wanting to rest their guys already, and then you got the teams like the Chiefs and some of the others that want to play their guys at least a quarter. Gannon hasn't really specified one way or the other. He'll do that tomorrow. He'll probably do it tomorrow with the Saturday game.
Does he need to?
No, I don't know. He probably doesn't have to. I think for fans, you know, I think if fans are, hey, look, we want to watch them no matter what, they'll watch. But there may be a lot to say, well, if you're not going to play the starters, I'm not going to waste my time. I'll go do something else. Or I'll turn something else on. I mean, for me, I'm going to watch them no matter what.
I don't think they're caring about ratings.
No, they don't.
That's not a factor.
I just think – and then there's a lot of fans who want to know, okay, let's look at the Jordan Birches of the world, the top draft choices, the free agents, the competition at defensive back.
I don't care at all.
I do. I like watching
the only
that
thing
stuff.
I care about is the score at the end.
Well, you got some.
That's because you're gambling.
That's
on
it.
Yeah.
But there is no interest in preseason football at all. I know, football's back. No.
I thought
it is garbage game.
Look,
it's so bad.
I called preseason football for years.
Yeah, because you would get those 2 games, right? As the local broadcaster.
That is correct.
All right, send Jimmy up
Get
there.
the Cowboys, the Vikings.
Preseason.
Preseason sucks, Manuch. There's nothing you could say to me that makes preseason something I want to do. So why are you saying don't poo-poo it?
No, because
it's an awful product.
Because that was my time.
Well, your time has come and gone.
Yeah,
But
you are ancient.
But here's the thing. For a lot of guys, it means something. So you'll see some guys trying to make the team or teams on the bubble. That could be of interest for folks. That's what I like watching.
All right, if my buddy's kid is trying to make the team for the Cardinals,
that's different.
Yeah, I'll tune in.
I get it. But for me to watch some of the draft choices, I mean, like watching.
Do you really get to see them? I mean, it's a broadcast. It's not like you're watching film.
I watch,
and you can see one-on-ones. You can see the different angles. Preseason, they don't bring in all the cameras like they normally do for regular season.
Surprised when I go on YouTube and watch that stuff over and over again. So yeah, I enjoy it just because it's football, and there's a few select guys I want to watch. If Kyler Murray, if he's starting, I want to see where his timing is, where he's putting the ball.
Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, I do.
Name one hobby.
Watching football on
YouTube, training quarterbacks. My hobby is date night every Saturday night with my wife. That's my hobby.
That's your hobby?
Yeah.
I think she'd be offended.
Yeah, really.
If my wife or girlfriend said, you're my hobby on Saturday night date night.
She knows she's got undivided attention.
Oh God. Yeah.
Jeez, get to a commercial. Get to a commercial.
Yes. Ted Robinson right out of the gate, the play-by-play voice for the CW Network.
Bad driving habits are hard to break, but good driving habits are easy to form, especially when they can lead to a discount on your auto insurance. With Farm Bureau Financial Services, the safer you drive, the more you save. Drivers like you are saving an average of $321 per vehicle. So buckle up, learn more, and find an agent at fbfs.com/save. Individual savings results may vary. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
Hi, I'm Don Barano, Division President for Mattamy Homes. We're proud to be the Stories of Hope sponsor of the Phoenix Children's Hospital Give-a-thon. Donations go toward research, clinical programs, state-of-the-art equipment, and family-friendly services that ensure world-class care. Your support will continue to grow specialized children's care here in Arizona. Call 602-933-4567.
You can also text GIVE to 620-620.
The children at PCH need our help now more than ever.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Roach is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Roach is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Roach is the way to go.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is not enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
Lerner and Roach is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. Is ESPN 620. It's Thursday, and welcome to Lodge Mentality. The guys are live at Twin Peaks Tempe, located in the Tempe Marketplace. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, hope you're having a good Thursday afternoon. We're out here at Twin Peaks in Tempe. We'll be here for another hour. Jeff Van Raaphorst scheduled to join us this hour, along with Howard Balzer, talking some NFL football, specifically the Cardinals in Game 2 of the preseason against the Broncos on Saturday night. You'll be able to hear that here on the Mothership 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. So you'll check that out on Saturday. Sure, a long pregame, the whole 9 yards as the team gets ready for the regular season. We are trying to chase down Ted Robinson, the play-by-play voice for the Pac-12, and Washington State and Oregon State. Hopefully we'll catch up with him too and get his thoughts on the latest on the future of the Pac-12. I think a lot of us are just waiting to see how this all comes together with the Mountain West, or excuse me, the Mountain, the Mountain West, correct. I said it right. Yeah, and then whoever else they're going to add, kind of get that thing to 12 or 15 or.
Why didn't you think that the Mountain West just didn't, the entire conference just jump in with the Pac-12? I would have thought that would have been the
slam
easiest,
dunk.
Yes, the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, the Pac-12 can't be picky, right? To invite everybody in.
Yes.
You know what? It's the Mountain West probably had a scenario there where they didn't want to lose the conference. So
I understand that.
It's that my thought process. You see two teams in the Pac-12, Washington State and Oregon State, as you mentioned, Roc. Let's say one, and their schedules are all over the place.
Yep.
They travel. They're here. They're there.
They play each other twice.
Yeah. And you just wonder, okay, so if one of those two went undefeated, and you see their schedule versus everybody else's, and they're going to go with the rankings for the 12 playoff teams this year, do they even have a chance if they go 12-0? Because you look at one, I think Louisville's on one of the schedules. You got Ole Miss on Washington State's schedule. I mean, you look at their schedules, kind of like all over it's like potpourri of a schedule.
Well, they didn't
no
have
other
a choice. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think about that and go, wouldn't that be a nice little curveball?
That'd be great
at the committee. If one of those two were to go undefeated.
So the two schools that aren't going, Air Force, I can see an academy not going there. All right,
I can see that.
But UNLV,
I
think I have a very, very close friend that works there now, and they've raised an ungodly amount of money for NIL. I mean, like, this person came in brought in millions and millions of dollars,
Wow.
and there's some big-time boosters. I mean, you figure they got Dan Mullen as their head coach of football now.
Yep.
Their basketball coaches, oh, my gosh, who's their basketball coach they just got? Big name. Shoot.
Yeah, I'll remember.
No, you won't. He'll get it for me in a second. Josh Pastner, excuse me. Yeah.
Oh.
So they got a big coach there.
I wouldn't call him a big name.
How can really?
Yeah.
Come on. Of course he is.
No, he's not. It's not a big name.
So you guys think he's fulfilled his status?
No. I mean, he struggled at Georgia Tech when he was there. He struggled at other schools that he's been at.
So like Memphis?
He has had
got a championship with at U of A as a player.
But he has.
But if you look at,
I'm not putting him up there. When you said big name, I
think big name for UNLV.
Well, is it Bill Self?
I mean, but for UNLV, a Mountain West school.
Jerry Tarkanian is the biggest name that's ever done.
That's come and gone.
I understand.
But
I understand.
My point is you get Josh Pastner in there.
Yeah.
You get Dan Mullen. These are two big-time coaches that played and coached at big school.
Well, that's fair.
And the only thing I can think of is maybe UNLV is trying to go down that road where they want to get picked up by somebody else. They want to be in the Big 10 or the Big 12.
I see.
I mean, you figure out how big it's a major city now, a major sports city.
Yeah.
With
And they got baseball.
They got everything.
Yeah.
So
you got everything now.
Yeah, and to the point of having the money to go be able to get poached by somebody else. Maybe it's the Big 12 because the Big 12
they don't want to sign into
a long-term agreement.
Big 12 needs some.
Well, but I think didn't the Big 12 just turn down Memphis recently?
They did.
So Memphis versus
UNLV.
UNLV. Yeah, exactly. Memphis is their football program has been much better over the years. Now with Mullen there now at UNLV, who really turned things around last year, and if the Big 12 is going to go after somebody with the kind of money that's coming in for the NIL, I would most definitely go after them because I'm going, well, who else who's got a lot of NIL money, got the Las Vegas marketplace.
That's what I'm saying.
It makes sense.
It does
one of the fastest growing cities.
Yeah.
So, but I don't understand why the commissioner doesn't. He might have made that call, for now. I don't know. It is interesting why UNLV has held their ground not to go to the Pac-12. But you got to feel, for at Wazoo and Oregon State. And they're doing all they can. Here's the other problem. The reason why they're trying, and Washington State, Wazoo's doing a good job of getting more money infused, because to go get a recruit, to keep a recruit for to be in the Pac-12 / Mountain West next year, to go up into Pullman and play and stay there, you better pay him well. Same with Oregon State.
John Mateer, who was a terrific quarterback, he left and he went to Oklahoma. He's in a little bit of difficulty right now, but he was penciled in to be the starting QB for the Sooners, and he's a terrific quarterback.
Yeah, I just think UNLV is looking at this and saying, all right, we're not real sure what's going on with the Pac-12. They don't have a clear TV deal yet.
Yep.
They're still going to be, I think they're going to be some NBC, some Peacock. They're going to be all over the place, right?
Yep.
And then, Air Force makes so much sense because they're, an academy. But Ted Robinson joins us now, CW Network, and part of the Pac-12. How we doing, Ted? How you been, bud?
Hey, guys. Nice to see you. Hear you talking football again.
Yeah, so we were just talking about why UNLV and Air Force have said, okay, we're going to stay put in the Mountain West. And I think I mentioned that UNLV has got a lot of money coming in, so they did very well this offseason in NIL, and Air Force being an academy. Is there anything else that maybe I'm putting you on the spot why UNLV did not want to jump over to the Pac-12? Is there anything glaring that maybe we're missing?
Well, I think since I live around Silicon Valley, the phrase retention bonus comes into play a lot. The tech firms used to keep people. I think that's what Gloria used to keep UNLV, was an awfully high retention bonus. Now, the question, of course, that's being litigated right now is that money really going to come through? And to Air Force, I don't think the Pac-12 had interest in Air Force. I think Air Force partnering with the other academies would make sense if that offer was there. And the other thing, very quickly, guys, I mean, the UNLV seems to have a feeling of their future that may not be what others perceive them to be. And, it's just the simplest equation of the pie. You sit down after dinner and mom brings out an apple pie. You've got 6 people at the table, so pie gets sliced 6 ways. Well, now suddenly I decide to surprise and bring a friend for dinner. Now everybody's pie slice gets thinner. And that's what UNLV, which is the pie's not going to get bigger. They don't make the Pac-12 TV deal better. It just makes everybody slice thinner. So I think that was a big part of the equation as well.
Ted, do you think right now when you look at Oregon State, Washington State, and as Roc alluded to, your calls for CW, that this team is, I should say, the league is still in purgatory per se, and even when they do get the transfer of the teams that do come, lawsuits aside, will still be in purgatory? Because we talked about what happens if a Wazoo or Oregon State goes 12-0. I mean, where does that put them as far as rankings are concerned, or does that put them on the same page with the other teams that are being considered for the playoffs?
Well, that's certainly what the Pac-12 believes with the new league. By basically they've taken the best of the Mountain West in both football and basketball. And I know basketball right now is a secondary subject, but the league is going to be a tremendous basketball based on recent performance. But in football, yeah, they think they certainly have the standing to be the best of the rest, so to speak, just as Boise was last year. And it also helped that Boise had a national player in Genty. Now that would help the prospective team in the Pac-12. As to this year is, I would say, purgatory for Oregon State and Washington State because of the litigation, no Mountain West scheduling alliance. They are playing as independents, basically. I mean, yes, the Pac-12 umbrella will be on the field, but they're in reality independent, and their schedule's not very good. I mean, there's just nobody should hide that fact. It's a one-year situation only, thankfully, but this year is going to be difficult for those two schools to get any national play because their schedule just aren't good.
Ted Robinson is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Ted, I don't think that we are done even with the big conferences trying to scoop up other teams. Anything that you hear across the country, since you're dialed in so well, not just the Pac-12, but the Big 12, the Big 10, the ACC, SEC. What do you hear, pal? It's just us talking.
No, I'll tell you a few things I've heard, and then, what happens in our world, you guys probably know this too, is you hear certain parts of things because no one can tell you the whole story. So you wind up having to infer from hearing snippets of stuff. So what I would tell you in summary is I think the next wave will be triggered by the final decision on the expansion of the playoff. If the playoff stays as it is, then I think there's going to be another major change which may blow up the ACC as we know it. I think that's the obvious target. If the playoff system is revised somehow, and the target of the revision would be to make the regular season matter, to make the regular season more important in college football, then I do think that puts off a seismic change. And look, the obvious schools in play here are Florida State, Clemson, North Carolina, and possibly Miami of Florida, the 4 ACC schools. Those schools would be the targets of the top 2. I just don't think anybody in the Big 12 is a target. And that's where, Memphis just got smacked down when they tried to basically just tell the Big 12, just take us. We'll do what SMU did in the ACC. You don't have to give us any money, just let us in. And the Big 12 said no, which is why UNLV's position is, from the outside, it's hard for me to understand because I don't sense they're getting a lifeboat sent to them anytime soon. But I do think back to the question, I think the decision that's coming up within the next 6 months probably about the expansion of the playoff is significant. I will tell you that one of the major sports television executives in the country said this in my presence about a month ago, that there's more runway for college football than there is for any other sport in America right now. There's more runway, and he said it's all about the regular season. And you've probably heard other people quote this fact that college football has far more viewership than the NBA. And the NBA's new media deal just blows away what college football is earning from television. So that's what this executive was referencing. There's way more room for growth with college football. But from what I understand, the powers to be think the regular season has to continue to matter.
Ted, good stuff as always, man. We look forward to catching up with you throughout the football season. So thanks for some time today.
Okay, guys. Good being with you.
That's Ted Robinson joining us with CW Network. We'll catch up with him throughout the year. He'll be calling tons of games. One of the best in the business. Big Notre Dame guy. Big Notre Dame guy. But, hey, we're going to talk some ASU football next, as it'll be our Dos Equis Backyard Open special here with Jeff Van Raaphorst. He will join us, the former Sun Devil great QB and radio analyst. He stops by next, and then Howard Balzer. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B from Tempe's Twin Peaks.
This summer, escape the heat and head to Backyard Desert Ridge, where Valley sports fans go to play. Catch every big moment on 4 massive 10 by 18-foot LED screens and over 40 HD TVs. Fuel up with wings, nachos, and 45-plus beers or cocktails on tap. Then keep the party going with live DJs and reverse happy hour specials. And this fall, it's Forks Up at Backyard, your go-to spot to catch every Sun Devil football game all season long. Reserve your table now at BackyardUSA.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Roc is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Roc is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Roc is the way to go.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Turner and Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Turner and Roc is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Summer is just around the corner. Is your roof ready for the monsoon season? Well, now's the perfect time to call State 48 Roofing for a free roof inspection. Don't wait until you're dealing with a leaky roof in the scorching heat. Protect your home today. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509. Keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing, the #1 referred roofer in Arizona. Proudly serving the Arizona residential and commercial markets for over a decade.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. OD's, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at OrangeDaleLounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Don't let biased algorithms or degree screens or exclusive professional networks or stereotypes, don't let anything keep you from discovering the half of the workforce who are stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time to tear the paper ceiling and see the stars beyond it. Find out how you can make stars part of your talent strategy at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
It's time for your weekly Dos Equis Sun Devil Report. Powered by Backyard, Desert Ridge, and Gilbert. With live DJs, reverse happy hour, and every ASU game this fall, it's Forks Up at Backyard. The Valley's ultimate game day destination. Stay locked in. Your Sun Devil Report starts now.
3 receivers right, Scatterboot to Levitt's left. Levitt takes the snap, looks far sideline, got a man. It is caught into the end zone. Touchdown. 32 yards to Jordan Tyson. I didn't think he hung on to it.
It's going to be a fun year. Duo with Levitt and Jordan's going to be outstanding. Just can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. Joining us now, he gets to call the games, color analyst and former Sun Devil great Jeff Van Raaphorst joins us now on the Right Toyota guest line. Jeff, you ready to go? I mean, is it time? Are you ready to get in the booth? You and Tim Ely get the game going?
It's time for football. Come on.
Is it?
Amen. Amen, Rapper.
Hey, what's the next step when you look at Sam Levitt? What is the next step in his development to lead this offense? What are you looking for initially in the first couple games out of him?
For him to make it look easy. I think he's
Okay.
so talented, Dan. I mean, he can make every throw. He can make every run. Big thing for him is, to find, how to get Kyson Brown, how to make him better, how to make Rayleigh Brown better. You got Jordan Tyson, but who's that number 2 receiver? So just stay within the offense. I mean, you know this as well as anybody. The enemy of good is great, and just kind of be consistent. He's such a talent. I don't even know where to start. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks I've seen come through here ever.
It's interesting, Raaphorst. And the one thing, he's chasing you and a guy named Jake Plummer, that's for sure.
Danny White,
Mike Pagel.
I mean, there's been some great quarterbacks that have come through here.
For you, Rapper, when did you see him, as Roc alluded to, when did you see him take the next step? Was it against my K-State Cats, how well he performed in that first half, and then closing that game out in Manhattan, Kansas?
He certainly played good. There's some game. I don't know if it was like a time or a switch. I think the thing that stuck out to me about Sam Levitt last year is every week he got better. It wasn't that there wasn't a precipice where there was some certain amount of improvement, but week after week he got better. His confidence grew, the team's confidence grew in him, and obviously they had Scadaboo in the backfield. Sure is a nice safety net, but Sam was at the end of the season. Sam was every bit of the star that Scat was.
What surprised you about him watching him last year? What surprised you the most about his talents, mental abilities, or whatever? Anything in particular?
He doesn't seem to panic. For example, like sometimes when receivers or quarterbacks go from their second to their third read, their feet get super happy. If it wasn't there, he just took off. And his ability and confidence in his feet to extend plays is very impressive, but usually the errors occur in a quarterback when they get pressure up their face, or if their pocket condenses, their timing speeds up. He's comfortable playing fast, and if it's not there and he gets a cloudy pocket, he'll either break contain or just take off.
So you reference Cam Scadaboo, who looks like he's going to be playing a lot on Sundays now for the New York Giants. The thing that I wanted to ask you is, who is going to claim that running back spot? Or, Rapper, is it going to be by committee?
I think Kyson Brown has obviously got the inside track on it. I saw Ray Leak Brown at training camp, at Tonazona, and I couldn't believe how big he looked. He's a USC transfer. He came in and, he was skinny and relatively light. And I'm telling you guys, he looks like he's modified power lifter now. So he's the guy that, is in that 5'9" range and extremely quick. And you got Udo, the transfer running back from Army. So, I think you're not going to see the dominant guy, but I think you're going to see different running backs in different sets that when you add up their combined production from all three, I think it'll be pretty substantial.
Rapper, one of the things that Kenny said when he came here, we got to get bigger, stronger, faster, right? And you've even come on, and we've all talked about this team was relatively, for a few years, just wasn't big enough type of thing. And then going to the Big 12, you had to have that in your back pocket. Is this team at a point now where they are bigger, stronger, faster on a consistent basis, and that can sustain them like it did last year?
Yeah, it's funny. I'll be honest with you guys. Last year, I went home after first couple of practices and told my wife, I said, hey, we probably can do whatever we want. I'm not real confident this team's going to be playing postseason at all. And, it shows you how much of an expert I am. I just completely whiffed. But it's, let's be honest, that's where everybody's expectations were, because there were so many intangibles. And, back to your question about bigger, stronger, faster, I think it's definitely bigger, stronger, faster, but it's also deeper. So there's not the drop off when you go to your sixth offensive lineman or your seventh offensive lineman. There's guys that we can still move in there. It's not, oh man, now we're so weak at this position that we have to make schematic adjustments. I'm super impressed with what I saw at Tonazona from a size standpoint, a speed standpoint. We've got some big guys on the defensive side that can, really hold up. CJ Fight, I think, is going to be a terror. There's a kid named Blazin Lono Wong who's just big, and he just keeps getting better and better. The two rush ends, Clayton Smith, Dorba, Elijah O'Neal, Justin Watley. We got depth, man. You don't want injuries, but we got size and strength, and we have depth. So that gets me really excited.
So last season, they were the hunter. This season, they are now the hunted. people are freaking out because in the preseason AP poll, they were ranked number 11. I've always subscribed to the theory that I want to be ranked as high as I possibly can, because that means and tells my team that we are really good, so we need to play to that level each week. Where are you on that? Are you a guy who subscribes to, well, I'd rather not be ranked that high, and or are you a guy that subscribes to, we're really good and we're going to go prove it?
Before I answer that, I got to ask the guy to your right or your left, Manuch, what's your answer on that?
I love seeing it up there. It means that I'm getting to the Joneses. I'm showing the nation that I'm getting back into that top tier football, and that football at Arizona State University means something. You can be productive. I love it. I mean, get up in there and handle it from that standpoint.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think that's the attitude of any athlete, right? Is I think, the athletes want to be ranked high. You want to be recognized for what you've done. But at the same time, it's the takeaway that this team has to realize is last year they're unranked. And, they got into college football playoffs. This year we're going to honor the 1975 ASU team and put them in the Hall of Fame for ASU. And they were an unranked team that went undefeated with a number 2 ranking. So, it just goes to show you that it's you want to have high expectations, and then it becomes the maturity of the team. Can you live up to those? And can you play like you have 10 cents in your pocket when you're actually living in Arcadia? So, there's a big difference.
Well, I think you kind of answered the question, Jeff, that I was going to allude to. Is okay, now that you're there, can you sustain it? Are you a one-hit wonder, or are you going to be one for the ages as you move forward? That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I think it will be interesting to see what the team does, because this team certainly has all the pieces in place. I mean, we got a new field goal kicker. I'm telling you guys, Gomez can crush the ball. And I was at camp and I'm watching it. He's just airmailing balls over the goal, through the goalpost, over these trees, and my brain went to, okay, well, we could win the game at the end from 50 or 55 yards, and we couldn't last year. So Kenny was managing the game, realizing that, hey, we probably had to have a 40 or 42 yarder to be, have a realistic expectation of knocking it through. So, punting game looks good. We've got a lot of athletes. The deeper you get, the better you are in special teams. I think Coach Regal and his crew are going to have a really good year. That was the team last year that was probably arguably the weakest link, or that got the most attention, was the special teams group. And I expect really good things out of them. So, yeah, I'm excited. I love the depth. I love being ranked. I think it's great because it forces all the local media to put them on. You guys always cover them, but it's going to force the Republic to have to get out there and start writing a little more.
Oh,
a little
so,
shot.
Hey, Rapper, when you've been doing this a long time, do you remember a year, or what year do you recall that there was this much buzz in the city? So I'm 32 years now.
I think there's always buzz after a big year.
Yeah.
It would be interesting. I know there's some, you guys, we got the sports release that came out the other day about the ranked teams and things like that. It'd be interesting to take those ranked teams and look at what did they do the next year. Could they follow it up? And that's the mark of a great team and a great program. And, we had some drop-offs. I know my year we won the Rose Bowl. The next year they ended up in the Freedom Bowl. There was just a big drop. And I think Kenny's building it from the ground up. The biggest metric, the biggest data point that I saw this summer by far was the fact that I think we only lost one transfer portal, one or two, and none of them were in the 2 deep. That is going to become the biggest metric every year that you look at, because if you can keep your own players and develop them, and then you're, getting additions in the portal, then I think, that's how you build success.
Jeff, we enjoy it, man. Thanks for the time today. Getting close, so we're ready to talk some football, so it should be a lot of fun this year.
Hey, make sure you guys throw out that ticket number so everybody can start buying tickets and get them out there. That's your job. The unofficial ambassadors of ASU football, maroon and gold.
There you go. We got it.
Amen.
That's Jeff Van Raaphorst. You'll be able to hear him all season long, him and Tim Healy on the Arizona State Sun Devils radio network, which is part of the Arizona Sports app, and us, ESPN, and Arizona Sports 98.7. So looking forward to that. Make sure you download that Arizona Sports app as well. All right, up next, after this ESPN 620 update, we'll catch up with Howard Balzer and talk some Cardinals football as they get ready for Saturday against Denver.
Time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Twin Peaks ESPN 620 update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Diamondbacks took 2 or 3 from the Rangers, all thanks to Krisztal Marte, who delivered go-ahead 9th-inning homers on back-to-back days. Now Krisztal and the D-backs will look to stay hot as they head to Colorado for the start of a 4-game series. Eduardo Rodriguez gets the nod for Arizona, while Bradley Blaylock takes the mound for the Rockies. The Cardinals will head to Denver to take on the Broncos in their second preseason game, giving backups and young players a chance to get some reps and make an impression before the regular season starts. Twin Peaks is your front row seat for UFC 319 this Saturday. Grab a cool 29-degree draft, feast on made-from-scratch wings, and feel every round like you're cage side. No hassle, just the best fight night atmosphere around. Get in early only at Twin Peaks, where sports and flavor go head-to-head.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers bring more air for less money. Rust-free, USA built, backed by over 40 years of cooling expertise. Available now at Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, Tractor Supply, and Northern Tool. For more information, go to staycool-products.com. Stay Cool Products. Form, function, value. Get yours today and beat the heat.
Remember when things were built to last? Well, at Arizona Patio Furniture, we've been handcrafting premium outdoor furniture and custom cushions for over 15 years, right here in Phoenix, using 100% American-made materials. We build it, we sell it, we guarantee it with our exclusive 5-year plus worry-free warranty. Visit any one of our 3 Valley showrooms or go to ArizonaPatioFurniture.com. Mention this ad for free delivery and setup in Maricopa County. Arizona Patio Furniture. Some things are still made like they used to be.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Construction managers, you prioritize safety with hard hats and gloves and harnesses, but there's another tool to add to your first aid kits, naloxone. Naloxone reverses an opioid overdose and saves lives. Not only are construction workers at a greater risk of an opioid overdose than people in other occupations, but many overdoses occur in or near job sites. Provide access to naloxone and protect your workers. Together, we can build a safer future. Visit naloxoneaz.com. That's naloxoneaz.com.
When even my easy run became impossible, my buddies told me to go to VA. I don't know exactly what I was exposed to while I was serving, but I know that because of the PACT Act, I qualify for VA healthcare and disability benefits. I get treatment from top doctors trained in military exposures, and I get monthly tax-free disability compensation. With VA healthcare and benefits, I can keep going. Get what you earn. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
Get hurt in the game? We tough it out. Feel exhausted? We push on. Feeling down? We pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. But there are times when bootstraps aren't enough. When stress gets to us and we need to talk to someone about what we're really going through. So we're going to reach out because sometimes mental health is not a one-person job. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
He's been covering the National Football League for close to 50 years. A longtime NFL writer, broadcaster, and co-host of the Pro Football Hall of Fame show on SiriusXM. A Hall of Fame voter, Howard Balzer. Now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, 1-0. That's right. Cardinals edged out the Chiefs last week, 20-17, the preseason win. Get their exhibition season started, and they'll have Denver on Saturday night. Howard Balzer now on the right to it again. All right, Howard, you got some roster battles that are heating up. Unfortunately, you're not going to see many of the regular starters. So why do you even play this game? Why even play this game? Manuch is trying to make a case of how important preseason football is, but it's hard to tune in when you don't know who any of these guys are.
Well, yeah, it is hard. There's no doubt about it. But on the other hand, you're seeing a lot of young guys who are fighting for roster jobs, like you said, and that's essentially what these games are about. But we also know the league is trending towards, and who knows when it'll happen. We just know it will at some point, 18 games and 2 preseason games, which are still, they still matter for those young guys, mostly because coaches want to see that the players are doing what they're supposed to. Now, they find that out in practice. They also find it out in a joint practice like today with the Broncos, and that ends up being almost as good as a preseason game because it's controllable. You can work on the things you want to. You have starters against starters, and they probably have a lot more snaps against the ones against ones than you will in a preseason game. So I think they've gone down in importance, but like I said, I still think that they are, they do have ramifications for those guys who are fighting for those final roster spots, and probably maybe not starting positions as much, but who's going to be good on special teams, because that's who, that's where a lot of the decisions come down when you're deciding who's your fifth receiver or your fifth or sixth cornerback or safe, whatever it might be, and linebacker. A lot of that is how the guys are on special teams, and that's a big part of the evaluation that goes on during the summer.
I would think right now offensively, it seemed to be too deep already. You mentioned as far as the defense, linebacker-wise, who are going to be the starting cornerbacks. Probably have a pretty good idea who that's going to be. So will the focus this game next week or the next 3 weeks of practices, really 4 weeks, be the focus on the depth from both sides of the football, or the depth mainly on the defensive side?
No, I think that it's the depth. Certainly there's a depth on the offensive line, although I think that a lot of that's pretty locked in. Although we don't know if Will Hernandez, if he's going to be ready for the start of the season. It would seem to be surprising if he would be. But who's going to be one of the backup guards, backup centers? Hayden Conner going to win a job. Will backup guard be Royce Newman? Things like that. But really, guys, when you think about it, there's not that much practice left. I mean, cut down day is now, what is it? I think 12 days away. That's when the roster gets cut to 53. So you have a week of practice next week prior to the final preseason game. Then the final cut is that following week. And then you might have a couple practices or this and that, but you're getting your roster set. And then before you know it, it's practice for that first week of for the regular season. So it's right around the corner, but it is about the depth. It is about, like I said, on defense, but also offensive line. Is there going to be a fifth receiver? Is there a fourth running back? Different things like that. So, but there's not that many spots open, but I think there are, several players at some of those spots that are competing for those final, for those final jobs on the roster.
So I guess my question for you is, if the starters don't play this week, it'll be literally 3 weeks before the opening game. I guess I'd like to ask Jonathan Gannon, what's the game plan to make sure that those starters and backups you alluded to are ready, because joint practices aren't going to get it done like a regular football game. Trust me on that one. And then to your point, once guys are cuts, limited practice days off here and there, what's going to be the cure-all for this team to get off to a good start? You looked at last year, they lost 4 out of the last 6 after going 0-3 in preseason.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. And certainly it's the work you're getting done in prep and practice and all those things. But yeah, you always have to keep in mind that basically all teams are doing it like this. So you're starting the season when you begin just like everybody else. Everybody else has had about the same amount of practice time, not playing their starters and hoping that you're totally ready. But, even when you look at last year and you say, okay, there were some losses there at the beginning of the season, but they were close games. It wasn't like they just got blown out and weren't competitive. And that's the key in the NFL. You guys know I've said this many, many times, is, winning games in the NFL comes down to winning those one-score games. And the Cardinals had a one-score loss to Detroit at the beginning of last year. They had a one-score loss to Buffalo, and they did beat the Rams in there in the beginning. So, that is the key. But the prep work, happens for the most part from here on out for the guys who are going to play a lot in practice. And that's kind of the reality of it. But everybody, like I said, everybody does it this way. And so you're on even footing there. And so it just comes down to when you get out there, hey, get the bottom line of football, do well on third down on both sides of the ball, get some takeaways, don't turn it over, be good in the red zone, and make the plays in the fourth quarter that need to be made to help you win games. And hey, guys, when you look at the Cardinal season last year, I mentioned now close losses at the beginning of the year. Then they went on that run where they had close wins, including several on last-second field goals. And then in the difficult stretch, they had several close losses, and they were 3-5 in one-score games last year. Flip that to 5-3, and all of a sudden you got 10 wins, and you're in the hunt for the division and a playoff spot.
Howard, my question is what you referenced about the cut-down date in about 12 days, I think you said, to 53.
Yes.
I think it's pretty simple to pick out guys who are not going to be there right off the get-go. But will it come down to about 4 or 5 players that they will have to make decisions on?
It might be a little bit more than 4 or 5 when you consider, I think we know who the top 3 corners are, right, with Williams and Melton and Will Johnson. But how many corners, and a lot of it is how many players you keep at each position, because that becomes the roster puzzle that you're trying to put together. And so if you have another 2 corners, who are those guys? There's several guys that are competing for that, whether it's the rookie Denzel Burke, whether it's, Darren Hall, same thing with backup safeties behind the top 3 guys. And so that's what it is for a lot of positions in terms of those extra players. And so it's probably more than 4 or 5 who are competing for the last spots. But like I mentioned earlier, a lot is who you think are going to be the top players on special teams. And, that comes down to it looks like Zay Jones is winning a job on this team. So you pretty much know who the top 4 wide receivers are. Well, is there a 5th guy? And is that 5th guy going to be active on game day? That's one of the parts of the puzzle too. But if he is, he has to play on special teams, just like, some of those, extra running backs. So that's really where all the decisions come down when they do cut the roster on August 26th.
So what do you want to see? Well, let me just throw you our State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question, because it does apply. What is most important in this Cards preseason game? Is it another win, build momentum? Is it 2, no injuries, 3, more playing time for starters, or 4 big plays of Murray to Harris, which we know that's not going to be the case. Harrison.
Yeah.
So just the first 3. Another win, no injuries.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing. And then again, you want to see, like last week's game, for example, big plays by Darren Hall and Keaton Crawford, the 7th round pick, who's an excellent special teams player in college. But he comes up, and granted, you can always say, well, that came to the other team's backups. True, but he was in the right place at the right time to come up with that play. And so does that help him make the roster? And does that help him, like I said, be active on game day because of what he can do on special teams? And so, those are the guys who are going to be obviously getting a lot of time on Saturday because, starter, there might be like a sprinkling of starters who are on the field this weekend, but it's not going to be, I don't think, any of the top guys. And so, could be on the offensive line, maybe get Isaiah Adams some more time, maybe on the defensive line, because I wouldn't expect Calais Campbell and Dalvin Tomlinson and some of those guys to play. So, those are the guys, like an Elijah Simmons, for example, a guy who's trying to win a job on the defensive line. And so does he do enough to make the roster or for a spot on the practice squad? Because that's a big part of the roster construction too, when you have 16 guys to add to that. And as we see every year, guys, with all teams, not just the Cardinals, you're bringing up guys off the practice squad all year, not only to be on the roster if there's an injury, but also because you get 2 game day activations from the practice squad for guys who will, play probably on special teams. So all of that goes into all the decisions that they're going to have in these next 2 weeks.
All right. Do you have an H-bomb for us this week? Are we going to wait until preseason? And if those
wait till the season, I know. Yeah. Well, it's funny because last week there were only 2 games, which is not unusual for the preseason. This week, from what I'm looking, there's only 1, and it's the same team that I dropped it on last week. The Colts somehow are a 6.5-point favorite over the Packers. Now I know Green Bay. Obviously Jordan Love isn't playing. He did have surgery either yesterday or today on his injured left thumb. They don't think that's going to affect the start of his season. But looks like Daniel Jones is going to be the quarterback for the Colts. But that's the only game that is 6.5 points or more. It was interesting. Earlier in the week, the Cardinals opened as 6.5-point underdog, but now they're at 5.5. So I was saying, maybe that'd be a good game to take. So I got to drop it on the Colts because not only did they not cover last week, but they lost. And I have a sneaking suspicion that they're going to lose again. So I don't understand how they can be such a big favorite over a team like the Packers. But then again, a lot of that is based on how people bet during the week and how that affects, the point spread.
All right, so we got the H-bomb for Colts this week. All right, Howard. Good stuff, buddy. We got you down, and we will talk to you next week, buddy. Thank you.
Sounds good, guys. Take care.
That's Howard Balzer. You got to check him out, part of USA Today, and he has been covering the National Football League for over 50 seasons, and he is at CardsWire at usatoday.com, and he is a contributor on SiriusXM NFL Radio. All right, he is brought to you today by All City Towing here in Tempe, the largest towing company in the state. The place where your career can get a serious boost. They are hiring now dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and they got some great work schedules, state-of-the-art towing equipment, health benefits, a 401k with an employer match. You got paid life insurance. I mean, it goes on and on, even a monthly fuel allowance. That sounds good. Take the next step. Visit them online at allcitytowing.com and search careers. That's All City Towing, where your future is on the move. We got a one call. That's all next. And it's going to be Coach Gannon, and we will hear from him next on Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B from Twin Peaks, Tempe.
Tired of the same old weekend routine? Then head to Putting World. Experience an elevated 18-hole golf adventure followed by delicious eats, handcrafted cocktails, and live music at our chef-driven restaurant, Bar 19. Enjoy daily specials and happy hour deals that are sure to keep your wallet happy. Birdies, bites, and brews await. Check out this week's live music schedule at puttingworld.com or just swing on by Putting World, located in the Scottsdale Promenade. Eat it, drink it, sink it. Putting World. Beat the heat with AC Experts. Is your air conditioning ready for summer? Don't sweat it. Our certified technicians are here to keep your home cool and comfortable. From routine maintenance to emergency repairs, we've got you covered. Enjoy staycations in a perfectly chill home. For a limited time, take advantage of our special discounts on new AC installations. Call AC Experts today at 480-386-6980 or visit acexpertsaz.com to schedule your appointment. Stay cool, Arizona.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Family. 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 Family is everything. Family is with us through all of life's great moments.
And for the past 100 years,
Shriners Children's has become family to over 1.5 million kids.
In tough times and good times, they're there when we need them most. It's so good to know that we have a family who cares enough to stand by our side.
Please go online right now to loveshriners.org.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
Couple phone calls, and then we met yesterday. So it's cool. He does things the right way. There's certain teams that I'm really excited to practice versus when you look at all the other teams out there, and this was one of them, just because I know the operation that he runs. He runs a tight ship. They're always well coached, his teams. They do things the right way. They're disciplined. They play hard. So that's what I was looking to get out of this.
That's Coach John Gannon on his relationship with Sean Payton of the Denver Broncos as they gear up to play on Saturday. They're not going to play their starters, so they have mutually agreed on that. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, Manuch. When we played some of those clips earlier from Peyton,
well, Sean Payton sounds
like defense wins championships. I mean, don't you want to just come out and do what you want to do?
Yeah,
I mean, why are you going to adhere to what they're doing?
Well, I think Sean Payton kind of sprinkled in. There'll be a few guys that want to look at that are starters, and I got to imagine Jonathan Gannon. I don't know why you would not start several guys or starters to get some reps. I just don't get it. I mean, it's only the second week. It's really fourth week. You're only your second preseason game, and if you hold that, like I said, if you hold everybody off next week, you got 3 weeks before you play a game. I mean, I just don't understand why you can't play a little bit just to keep guys somewhat ready. Football ready.
Don't the starters want to play?
Well, yes.
Down,
oh my
God, to one series.
Sure. Yes, especially the starters that have competition on their heels.
Yeah, but I mean, you play. I mean, you're in this sport. You're in this profession to play games.
Absolutely, you are.
So why wouldn't you want to play a quarter against the Broncos?
I've never not known anybody that did not want to play sometimes.
I can say this. It's painfully obvious that Jonathan Gannon and his coaching staff is not listening to us, because they would be playing some guys, because we've all been calling for starters to get some time on the field, and they see it totally different.
Well, he did last week, first time in his 3 years.
Yes, he did last week.
Now this year, I don't know. Sometimes I hear guys say that. I still think there may be a couple of guys here that might play, but I think for Jonathan Gannon, your third year, you've got to be vying for the playoffs. You really do. There's got to be a lot of more movement. You win 4, you win 8. Next week you got to win 10. Yeah, I guess you got to win 10 to 11 games in my mind to be that you're growing in your with the talent you have.
I think at 10, I think everybody would be happy.
Absolutely, but I think, but you're also it's that time of year. I think anything short of the playoffs is a disappointment. I really do. Especially with your quarterback you have. Now, that might be a stretch for some people. Yeah, I think
because your quarterback you have?
Yeah, because
does that mean that the guy that you have there is a playoff quarterback?
No, what I'm saying is that this quarterback needs to get them to the playoffs. That's a little different, because I think that anything less of the playoffs, if they don't make the playoffs this year, this kid, Kyler Murray, plays the entire year, I think you got to reevaluate if he's the guy that can move you forward, because that's what you're looking for. This guy to move you forward, get to a playoff game, win a playoff game, if that's the path you're going to go. Because listen, this isn't the group that drafted him. This is about his 7th year, 4 years back. The Kingsbury and their staff are the one that drafted him. So there's a lot riding on this year.
Yeah.
So if I'm a head coach, I'm making damn sure my team is ready to go opening game against New Orleans Saints on September 7th.
And this coaching staff inherited his contract as well.
Yeah, but you can't worry about that.
No, but it's a big contract. He did get the team to the playoffs one season, and then he pooped the bed in the
bad
against the Rams.
Hey, here's what's on tap tonight at 5:40. D-backs, they're in Denver. Speaking of the Broncos, to take on the Rockies. You can hear that on the mothership. Arizona Sports 98.7, and make sure you download the Arizona Sports app. presented by Orangedale. Tonight is the Housewives of Orangedale.
Woo!
You would fit in real well with that.
Really?
Jimmy. Yeah.
As a housewife?
No, because all the housewives would be there, and then Jimmy come cruising in.
I would. See,
wearing his Skechers.
Jimmy B's here.
I got two things going for me with all the old ones, okay? I'm popular at the home. One, I can see so I can drive at night.
Okay, that's big.
That's big.
Yeah.
And two, I've got a job, so I have income.
Yeah.
So they don't have to be
So
a
you'd
sugar
fit in
mama.
at Housewives of
I'd be
Orangedale.
big. I'm not looking for the sugar mama.
Well, it's just open now, just east of the Ice Den. You get updates, just follow them on at OD Scottsdale. All right, our State 48 Roofing, it's your call. Results, I'm sure you guys have it pulled up. Your three choices. What is most important in the Cards preseason game number 2? Is it another win, build momentum, no injuries, or more playing time for the starters?
Connor, what do you got back there, buddy?
So it looks like here the peeps are going with, unfortunately, some went with the starters. They're not getting that. That was 42%. No starters are playing more. The other 57%, people just want to see no injuries and staying healthy.
So what was important to them was the starters playing some extra time.
Right.
From that. And then no
that's
injuries.
where
I went the same way.
Yeah.
I think it's too early still. It's still your second preseason game.
Yes.
4 week of training camp. And I don't care what anybody says, joint practices are not like a regular preseason game. There's so much different. There's so much. It's live, number one. There's more to it. You got to clock. There's so many more tangible and intangible things that a regular season preseason game has over joint practices.
Tomorrow, a topic that we're going to jump into, all the talk of ESPN reaching the deal to acquire the Red Zone trademark from the National Football League. Of course, all the speculation that this could turn into a college football Red Zone. Well, Fox has come out today and has said that they are unlikely to license its Big 10 or Big 12 games to ESPN unless they get a piece of the pie.
Pushing back. Hey, let's do it. Let's make a deal, right?
Yeah.
That's it. You know what? We talked about that
They
a little
want,
bit.
here's a quote, significant ownership in the venture.
I could see that.
Wow.
You gotta
if you're
push
sitting
back.
there, if you're part of Fox, you're in LA, you're part of the suit, you're sitting back as, all right, the 4-letter network's got their hand in everything.
Yeah.
Well, this is the only leverage we have. The Big 10 is number 2, right?
Yes.
To the SEC.
Might be number 1 now.
Why would you say that? Because they won the last two?
Last two.
Yeah, but the SEC, I watched the SEC show the other night.
Okay.
What was that? The documentary of the SEC. It was pretty good. I think it was on Netflix the other day. It was pretty good.
Okay.
You just get tired of, all right.
They're
South
always
Carolina,
there. They're always there.
Georgia. That's what I'm saying. They're still premier. They're the premier conference.
Tomorrow, guys, we'll be right Toyota. Tom Candiani will join us from Colorado, the radio analyst for the Diamondbacks, the hot Diamondbacks, Scott Schweitzer, and we are scheduled to have Kurt Warner join us as well, Mike Young.
Talk about a starter, his son.
Yeah, EJ making it happen there at the Fresno State.
Yep. That's right. How about that? Well, hey, they got the A-team out here today at the Twin Peaks in Tempe. Absolutely packed for whatever reason, which is nice. Second shift is starting right now, so I wish we had an aerial on our YouTube, but we don't. But if you are looking to take advantage of happy hour, it's still 6 o'clock, and then it gets going again at 10 o'clock. So at all 5 Valley locations. All right, tomorrow, right Toyota for Matt, for Connor, for Jimmy B, and for Manuch. I'm Rock. Have a great night. We'll see you back here at 1 o'clock on ESPN 620.
Give me those sauces.